Alrighty, so I am in for the peek into the week. This could be running anytime, really, anytime you click it. Starting to just leave these as timeless readings, no matter. So whenever you need it, you will be guided to click here for it. So I'm using a selection of the decks behind me here. And I'm going to go into spiritual only. They're like, these people still swimming and snorkeling on top. We need to be deep sea diving. So we're going into spiritual zones here. So lessons, life lessons, this kind of thing. Going under the surface to look into things a little deeper. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 piles here. And this week, they didn't want to use the colors. They wanted to use the dragons. So again, when I shuffle the cards, I flip them over. So you guys get to pick your dragon, because the dragons we use for the strengths, those things that we're deficit in. So when you pick your dragon, then the rest of the reading will be for you. So I'm going to flip the cards over and reveal the dragons, and you guys take your time, use your instinct, and choose a pile, and then I'll start to read. And then give me about an hour after to timestamp them, because it takes me a bit to do that. Sorry, this new table setup is cockeyed, but nonetheless, I'll try and get them all in the picture here. So these are the piles. Now this is card pile number 1. And that dragon is fire and water. I'm going to turn it this way. I don't know if you guys can see. So that's pile number 1. Fire and water dragon. Okay. Card pile number 2. Air dragon. Sorry, I'm trying to anti-glare here. Card pile number 3. Ooh. Pure white dragon from Orion. So that's card pile number 3. Whatever you're drawn to, and maybe the color or whatever. They want you to get that message. And again, this week's going to be deeply spiritual stuff. And fire. Fire and air are needing guidance this week. So pick your card instinctively, and I'm going to go in this way. This will be card pile number 1. Again, fire and water dragon, air dragon, purple white dragon, and fire dragon. So those are your 4. Pick one of the piles, and I'm going to start going chronologically here with 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll get into the depth of spirituality. So this is 4. I'm put over here. 3, 2, and start with 1. Alrighty, give me a minute to set everything up with my little crazy setup here. Okay, hopefully we get it all in. Might have to lift this up a bit. Okie chokie, fire and water. We're going to start with this, just to give an essence, because basically they're saying we instinctively go towards what we need the most. So it says fire and water enables your life to flow with loving force. So prepare for change and a move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected and have fun. Okay, are we going to get clear? Yes, we are. Okay, hold on, guys. Oh, there we go. That's not bad. That's not bad. So, oh, my things are out of whack. Okay, fire and water. There he is. Okay, so this guy, give me a minute here to channel. I just want to get him focused. Yeah, that love and compassion again, hey? Give me a second. Yeah, we're all being, every day, every minute, every hour, every second that we are awake and not awake, that can be a dual-edged sword there. But literally sleeping or awake, we are evolving, and things are happening to evolve us. So whether we embrace that. And the sense here is that love and compassion may be in the way of this person moving forward. But once they realize that their life kind of hinges on love, forgiveness, this kind of thing, they gave me the word forgiveness, they're going to spring forward quite quickly, because the forgiveness holding them back is what I'm getting. So some people may be in in a way of not being able to forgive others, certain people specifically. And that's what's really going to hinge on them moving forward spiritually. So this is a very powerful card. Fire and water. So this may be significant. You may be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or you may have water prominent, Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. That may be you and your partner. It may be the exact symbols for the person that you're having a challenge with here. Forgiveness and letting go. This is what I'm getting. Very powerful. Okay, so yeah, that's your dragon. Now, as we move forward, I went into a numerology card to kind of hone in on the general area, right? And what do we get? Oh, look at what, it's flipping all over the place. Love partnership, 2 and 6 is 8. 8 is infinite potential. We may have a situation here where we have a love partnership. Holy glare. Give me a minute here. Through the ages, right? A soulmate, one would consider this, that we may have struggles at this time. The reason you're having struggles is because you need to one up. So much for no love in these readings, by the way. But it's all about the love, right? So we can't, it's never going to be out of a reading. But partnership here may be at a challenge point, a tipping point here. So forgiveness may be part of that, right? So this is a lot of the energy I'm getting. So keep that in mind. I'll review in the end. Notice how these are so in sync. Again, I shuffle them beforehand because it's very tedious to watch. The orange, hey? That's crazy. I won't I don't know why I relate orange to sex, but it's coming out that way. So we may be in a zone where we're just not physically intimate with our partner at all, and that's how strongly we're feeling about things, okay? So first card for the first pile of fire and water, we get the 4 swords, and that is about recharging batteries, resting to recoup, right? Needing a break, this kind of thing can happen in relationships quite highly. Yeah, nobody's talking, that's what they're saying, but this is what we need, is a break either from each other or from the way that our patterned thinking, what we're thinking, and how we're going outward to our partner. This needs to break as well. They're showing me energy patterns in that way. We need to break these patterns that we got with our partner. And how do we do that? We remove ourselves from them for a bit and think clearly without, contamination from them wanting their way, you want your way. You get to see clearly. This is what I feel highly is needed here. Next card, Ace of Swords. So that is about truth, clarity, and victory. I feel like this is what we're having a hard time seeing. Each other's, just give me a minute here. Yeah, they're switching roles here. Okay, so we got a masculine and a feminine, or a feminine, masculine. We have a hard time putting ourselves in the other person's shoes. Right now, we're just seeing from our own viewpoint, okay? And this is why we need to release from the partner. We need to release so we don't have that pressure, that peer pressure of the partner. We need to come to the realization on our own without being bullied. And I don't feel that strongly. I just feel like this side's pulling their weight on that side, and then the other side's pulling their weight. So it's just a battle of a back and forth battle here where nobody's seeing each other's point of view. So there is a truth here that's waiting to come to light, but I feel like until we kind of release from each other, we're just not going to see it properly because we're just fighting with our egos, right? And when we release, then suddenly the ego drops because there's no fighting, and then we get to see each other's, viewpoint a little clearer. This is what I'm getting. So next card, Queen of Wands. Yes, that is fire. That is fire. Just give me a minute here. Fire and water. So there's definitely a fire element here. May even be the feminine. Holy, do I have my camera in the wrong place? Yes, I do. Sorry. I tried, and it looked good when I tested it. for glare. I tested it over here, I guess, or over here, not there. Okay. So there she is, the Queen of Wands. She's very passionate. She's very bold and brash, and she goes out and does things, takes on challenges nobody else does. I feel her being very out of her element at this point. I feel she's very meek and very hermit-like, wanting to just stay and not talk, not communicate, and not go outward in any of this. Why? Because we really don't know where we stand on things, is the sense I'm getting. There's a truth here, again, not seen by either partner. If this is what we got, a partnership problem here, an argument, the truth is not being seen by either partner, because we're just, again, our egos are getting up front and getting in the way of us seeing the truth clearly. So we're just right fighting. And so the Queen of Wands there, just give me a minute, she's speaking. She's tired. You know, she's fought her way here and not been heard, is what they're telling me. We're feeling like we're not being heard. This is why we're reclusing. So the sense here is, if we're still in a partnership, we need to release from it in some way, shape, or form. Take a vacation or do something to release yourself from being enmeshed in it, because this will help you see clearer, okay? Now I got the chakra cards. We're going to go into this and start delving into the spiritual side and see if we can't make headway. Now on the 4, that is simply needing a rest, needing a break, needing time to recharge, because we're drained. And the Queen of Wands, man, she moves, and if she's drained, it's because there's been a lot of energy dispersed here and we're not getting anywhere. She knows when to quit, that one. For the most part, she knows when to quit. So she's feeling it. Okay, so on the 4, to clarify, we got the 5 of Wands, which is the struggle, right? The fight, the arguing. Here we got a bunch of queens in blue, right? Blue is the throat. Again, fighting through the throat chakra means talking and arguing, right? Give me a moment here. Neither one is speaking the truth, is what I heard. It's because we got a situation here where we, how do you explain that? We're bouncing out of the truth in order to save our ego. This is not good. So basically, we're getting into arguments here. It's not even about the actual fact, which happens all the time, but we're starting to get into areas where we're lying to win the argument. So it's all getting enmeshed in just bad energy. So the 5 Wands is a huge struggle here. And I think at this point, the Queen here, she's realized this, you know, like, I'm fighting for stuff, man. I got no footing, because this ain't even the truth anymore. We've diverted so far in this argument that we're not even spouting out the truth. We lost our direction here. It's really what I'm getting from that card. Now on the Ace, which talks about the truth and clarity that wants to come forth here. And I feel like that's still yet hidden for this week, maybe whatever. We have the Magician, which is good. Look at that orange again come through, okay? There's something about the orange. We'll see if we can figure it out in the end here. Now the Magician in this deck, he is bringing forth that power to the Fool, because this is the Fool coming to the Magician, and he's going to give her the power of insight, clarity, and whatnot. But what do we need to do? We need to get away from the arguing in the situation at hand, like the intensity of it, right? May even be toxicity, right? So we're having a rough time here staying sane in the way of dealing with issues. We're not even dealing with the issues anymore. We're just fighting about stuff and we're losing our footing. It's all falling apart. So there's a sense here that if we go back to the truth of the matter, pause a little bit, think, okay, wait a minute. I wanted a McDonald's hamburger, and now I'm saying I want Wendy's fried. Like, what do I want here? And go after it. So the truth, you got to find where the truth is. That was a bad analogy, but anyway, trying to simplify things. It's like we had to focus on something, we lost our way just from arguing, and our ego lost our way. So there's a sense here that we can gain it back, okay? because the magician's going to give you the power to see, but you have to isolate yourself. This has a whole other meaning at this stage, but we have to kind of seclude ourselves from that partner in order to understand where that sits, where that power is, because if we keep arguing, we continue to lose our power. And she's feeling it. Again, orange, man. On top of the Queen of Wands, we get the Nine of Cups, and that's about your wishes, hopes, and dreams fulfilled. With this card comes a warning. Be careful what you wish for, because sometimes we don't know exactly where we're headed here. And I feel like this has to do with arguing as well, because there's words coming off our mouth that we have very good manifestation powers for. And if we are a fire or an Aries, we're going to get there without even knowing how much power we carry. Like the fact that maybe you could go in an argument and say, you know what, I want a divorce, and just spit it out. And then guess what? A divorce comes running, and we never really thought it through, like what we're going to, if that actually, this kind of thing. So the Nine of Cups is about where in our heart-centered place is our wish here? Because are we fighting for it or against it? This is what I'm getting. Yeah, confusion there. We got to line that up, because I think we're saying things, spewing out things from our ego, not realizing this can all come down the line here. Again, watch if you're an Aries, because you're very powerful. You don't realize. Okay, next. Five of Wands, that's about the struggle and the strife and the arguing. We have the Crone of Air, and you know what? I'm going to look into her a little bit, into it first here. So she's got that book there, and either she's praying over it, she's read it, and she's trying to regain from, hey, Amy, thanks for coming in. She's trying to gain from it. I feel like she's trying to figure out what's written in here. What is the truth? Because all of that script there, that's the word, man. That's word. So I feel like that's, and then it's got the energy of the rest and all of that behind it. But I'm going to go in here. I know I don't like reading because, but some of these cards, they're just blank, and I get what I get, but then there's added messages in there that could be useful as well here. So give me moments. The air. So let me look here. What is that? Crone of Air. Why is that not in here? Oh, yeah. Okay, she's closing the book. There's some things that you are not meant to know at this time. For now, let it go. So that's the key. They made me. Yeah, so we're fighting to get answers here, and it's just, it may not even be formulated, the answers, or like we're just not meant to know. And you will not get, you can struggle as much as you want. You will not get it. I've learned this lesson. They will not give it to you, no matter how many psychics or whatever you go, you're just not going to get those answers. So there's a sense here that fighting that we're doing has something to do with something we need to let go. So be aware of that. A lot of fire here. So where does the power sit? Look at that. Mother of Air, air all the way here. She is up in the clouds. She's manifesting. She's trying to make things happen, trying to get visualizations, trying to move forward. So this is all very powerful energy. Again, I'm getting a feeling we just don't know how powerful we are, how much our brain can dictate where our life goes. Even if we don't speak it, it's powerful. Okay, so this is what I'm getting from that. Now the Nine of Cups, and again, it's a warning to beware of what you wish for and what you speak of, even though we're not speaking, or we may be at a point here where nose out of joint, we're not saying stuff to the partner because we're just fed up. Beware of what you're thinking and what you do go outward to say, because it's very powerful. We get the Maiden of Water. Use your emotional center, right? She's the happy, joy, dolphin jumping lady. So she's got to be in her heart center, right? Be like the Page of Cups on a good day. They're happy-go-lucky, and it's just all about the happy, right? But not as selfish. This one goes outward to enlighten others in a sense of heart. And the sun setting is like is that thing of letting go of something. We got to sleep on it, take a break, wake up in the morning and, jump with the dolphins. So there's something here to do with the arguing and the struggle. We're really struggling to get to the bottom of things, but I feel like it's just not going to happen. It's not meant to happen. So the more we fight in this area, just the more we're just going to get worn out, and we're starting to feel that. So there's just an awareness of where you're at, really. Okay. So as we move into the highly spiritual cards, first one I got is the Four of Cups, water, right? There it is. There's the emotional. And also a need to look at the self. What are we fighting for? Because I think we're getting in a rut where we're just spitting up mud, and we don't know. We're not making progress here. We feel like we're making progress because we're in argumentative mode, but we're not understanding that our heart is getting abused in a sense here. I need to look at yourself more closely. One, what you want forward, because we may be fighting for the wrong side here. Hey, Amy, I'm just doing the picket cards, so you'll have to catch me. I'm not quite in. But maybe I'll do a live night here soon. I'll keep it in mind, okay? I can't even announce things because everything in my life just changes so quickly. But keep your eyes on this weekend. After Monday, it's a no-go. But anyway, so I need to look at yourself closer so that you know what you want, so you can go after it more wholeheartedly, is really what I'm getting from this card. Next card, Queen of Air, air and water. It's all the elements, really. Air, fire, well, except for earth. Maybe a little ungrounded, right? No problem, Amy. So the Queen of Air, she's floating over everything, seeing the bigger picture here, and I feel like that's what this person that picked this pile, they're really in the mud of everything. They're getting all gummed up, and they're not able to remove themselves enough to see the bigger picture. And I feel like that's the energy that they need, because the Queen of Air is just really making logical decisions, and I feel like we may be a little irrational. We may be just burning on flames here and just, hot, everybody's getting burnt. So we're not understanding what we want truly. We're kind of just fighting to argue, not because we know what we want specifically, is what I keep getting here. So the Queen of Air is also that distance that's needed, the rest, the recuperation, however you want to do it or play it out. It could just be a weekend away with the girlfriends or guy friends and just getting away from the relationship to get some perspective. This is what I feel is needed. Oh, look, and there's the last element of earth coming in to say something here. So that's the Two of Earth, the beginning processes of. So there's a sense here that we do need to ground somewhat, and we need to go and be a little more logical in our way of being, especially when it pertains to our partner. Interestingly enough, I'm getting a sense that they're if you want to call it third eye or their higher sense here is quite removed. We're quite removed from our instinct, is what I'm getting from this card, which is usually not the case. Because when you're grounding, you're connecting, and the next step is to just open up to all of that. Those eggs are a symbol of fertility, can be also a symbol of new beginnings and new ways forward. 2 is very close to 1. 2 is about partnerships and unions and ways that we can work with each other to gain a goal. Hint, hint. But again, needing perspective. Now, I got a deck from a friend of mine, Tracy. Thank you again. This is the Wisdom Oracle deck here. I'm bringing it in today. They asked specifically for these cards. They seem to hold a vibration of self-mastery. I don't know if it's mastery or self-reflection, really. So we're going to use those to clarify these, which I think will be really good. Now, on top of the talking about self-reflection, That is that card as I see it. The next card here is trapped, and I am going to read. They wanted me to read from this book. One, because I haven't used it enough to really gain perspective here, but give me a minute. Yeah, we do feel trapped in this relationship is the sense they're giving me, like right away. I mean, that is trapped. You ain't no more trapped than that in a cage where you can't move or spread your wings, right? And this is the sense. This person's really wanting to expand outward, and they're feeling with this partner they cannot. There's a reason for this, so just sit and think about what I just said. There's a reason. So, yeah. Feeling trapped. You know what? Okay, give me a minute here. Where's that book? Okay, now I'm going to read. And I'm going to put my glasses that everybody voted on. I like these glasses. I put like 5 different sets that I had. I like them, but it's interesting. The darker ones won out anyway. Sorry, I'm babbling. 34. Okay, so we're going to see what this is all about. Trapped. I mean, it's pretty. It says, child, do you feel as if you are trapped in your life right now? Do you sense that you cannot do what you really want to do because others have expectations of you that you may not be able to fulfill? And do you feel as if you will never get what you want or go where you want to go? And that is trapped. Yeah, absolutely. So why are we feeling this? We're feeling this because it doesn't match. And what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to go where we can do this. We can expand. We can flourish. Okay. So it says, have patience, for you truly are in a temporary prison that exists in your mind. Your circumstances, no matter what they are, will change, and you will be free to experience the life you wish to lead. In these times, dreaming, this is the third referral to dreaming in this reading. Where was I? Dreaming is the best antidote, and of course, patience. Consider the story of the half-raven boy trapped in conflict until he finally follows his heart. That is key to this reading. Follow your heart. If you don't know where that sits, figure it out. Trust in me, for I will show you when the cage door opens so that you can fly free. So that's the sense here. And I feel like the key to all of this, like they're saying it's in their mind, the key is communication with the partner. Because again, we shouldn't make any decisions without referring to the partner first, in case I don't say that. Because we really want to give them the opportunity to step up. And I think that everybody's blind here. We're just not I'm seeing a masculine and feminine, and the one partner is not being informed of what is a deficit here, what is missing, not being informed. So they can't work actively to help you out in any way. And I feel like that's the trap here. That's why they're trapped, because they're not communicating with the partner what I need. Because the partner will go, oh, okay, whether they agree or disagree, those fears around that, we have to drop that and just communicate to the partner. Because how long are you going to sit there and wait until you resolve this? And that is a waste of time, right? The time that you waste without the clarity that you need. Okay, so that is on the reflection. So it may, we may need some self-reflection in order to figure that out. Or hopefully you watch this and then it just goes boom, download. So on the Queen of Air, and again, this is about the imagination and whatnot, and they're telling you to use that highly. Yeah, very powerful. People just don't realize how much, oh, it's daydream and whatever. No, it's not just daydreams. This is where our reality, how would you say, prediction of our reality sits, what goes on in our mind. So if we are always thinking about the destructive phase here, and this goes across everything, if we're always thinking about the destructive phase, then that's the energy we're shipping out to the universe, going, send us more destruction, here we go. But if we're thinking about the good side, then we amplify that. Okay, I know I'm preaching here, but it's the same message, but they're still not getting it. They may understand it logically, but they're not using it. This is what I'm getting. Okay, next. Oh, I'm gonna need glasses again. Listening. Queen of Air. So there's a sense here that she may not be listening, and I'm getting a feminine for this reading. to something very important that maybe a masculine or feminine is trying to convey on the other side of this. So here we go again. I shouldn't have taken these off. Listening, 23. Okay, this indicates that you are meant to listen to what others are saying with their gestures rather than their words. Okay, that's what it is. We're listening to the words, and some people, they just are compulsive liars. Some of them run shows. It's unbelievable. But, right, we got to look at what they're doing rather than what they're saying. So in the house of night, there will be a beautiful girl with skin the color of dark honey who has the gift of poetry. She is able to weave tales with great detail and expression, yet without being obvious or straightforward. Reading between the lines and finding true meaning are what is required right now. Listen and learn. What others don't say is what is important at this moment, and that is, I had to learn lessons about that, being naive and all of it. Is that we want to believe, right? We want to believe people's lies. And unfortunately, I feel like it's the feminine here that's kind of weaving this spell on another. I feel like they're kind of saying stuff, and I don't feel it's, I feel it's getting to be deliberate, but they're taking a toll and going, wait a minute. They're realizing they're getting out of hand here because their instincts just screaming at them, and that's what they're not listening to is their instinct, but they're throwing it out nonetheless. So this is really a sense here that we're going to watch what we say and how we say it and how we go forward to others in this way of what we want, Okay, give me a minute. Because they're basically saying, let's not act like we don't want something when we want it. And let's not want something and act like we don't want it. This is the thing. This is what I'm getting. Somebody's playing a mask here highly. So be careful of that, because you'll manifest things you're not going to understand. Why did this happen to me? It's because we're in conflict. Mental and heart is in conflict here. So again, these are deeply spiritual, so hopefully you're hanging with me here. So on the 2, again, new beginnings, new directions, new ways of being that want to come forward, more grounded, logical, common sense ways that want to come forward here. We have 39, success, which tells me that we can get there, but it's going to take a little bit of listening and a little bit of backing up to see the bigger picture here. They have a certificate there, right? Congratulations on your... So there's an essence here that we can gain success quite highly and quite easily. All we have to do is be aware, a little more aware than we've been kind of crashing into things here. So there's a sense of that looming for me here in this reading for the energy. It's just, if we keep going in the direction we're going, and again, this person I feel has paused, so they know something's off here. So they just need to sit and look at that a little deeper, right? Figure it out. Okay, 39. Am I yelling? Still yelling. They're going. Being stern. Okay. Okay, so celebrate now as I do for you have... What? Celebrate now as I do, for you have achieved success. It says accomplishments are yours now, and you are in a position to reap rewards for your hard work. The symbol of success reminds you that hard work pays off. Being true to yourself and refusing to compromise will yield good things. But choosing this symbol is a wondrous sign that all is well in your life, and it requires you to keep working hard lest you lose the knowledge you have gained. Now is not the time for slacking off. Keep going and celebrate every small victory. Be proud of yourself as I'm proud of you. Remember, everything you choose now will come to be realized. So choose wisely. So that's a sense there that, yeah, it would be very easy to gain clarity here if we, again, just stop a moment So if you're an overachiever, just slow down a little bit here, because that's the sense I'm getting. This person's really an overachiever. They kind of got caught up in the wheels of motion here, and they're starting to put the brakes on. So this is good that you did that. So we just need to look and clarify everything, figure everything out, and then go forward. Kind of course correct is what I'm getting. This is an opportunity to course correct. Very, very easy to gain success. So we just have to continue to do that. That's hitting. Okay, next, one deeper. So on top of the trapped feeling, again, this is a sense of feeling trapped. Why? Because one, we're not communicating the bare issues to our partner, so therefore it can never be cleared up. And there's a sense here that person didn't stop long enough to realize that. But on top of that, we get seek your destiny. So this may be somewhat of a distraction that you can hold. So if you're feeling trapped by the relationship, go in a different direction and figure out what feeds your soul outside of the love of a partner, and go to the love of a life. What do I need to do to make me love my life more? Not without a partner, but hey, ally. Going towards an energy that is more receptive, really, and it could be creative, it could be work, it could be just those things that soothe our soul, right? In a different direction to gain clarity. This is what I'm feeling. So on the listening card, we have know that you belong. So there is a sense here that this relationship shouldn't be thrust aside. We are in a one-up here, but it takes work, and it takes tapping into the relationship in order to gain. And even though we feel at this point that it's they gave me the word frustrating, but it's frustrating at this point to get things across. This is where you belong, but we're meant to evolve from where we're at. So it may be, and I feel very, this is a very tit-tat, tit-tat, tit-tat. And it may be this feminine here that has to kind of tit the tat there. He has to kind of tap this guy, but it may not be open to it at this time. So we're going to just relax and move in a different direction. But know that you belong here. It's not something to be broken from, but evolved into. Okay? Hopefully that made sense. Success. So on the success, we have nourish the soul. Yes, if we go in this direction to nourishing the soul, and again, in different areas than the relationship of the partner, we will gain success. So we just reroute, turn 30 degrees to your left, and keep going. Let that figure it out, because sometimes we just need that break of focus in order to see clearly the answer here. And that's really what I'm getting for this whole reading, is we just need to break focus. You take a break, literally, physically move away from the partner, not meaning move out of the house, but go physically somewhere where you can be alone and think things over. Because once you tap into that instinct, it's just going to sit. It's sitting there. It's right here. We're just not using it. So once we slow down long enough, it'll just ching, it'll come to mind, and we'll go, okay, yeah, I see a solution here. This is what I need to do. Okay, and then you go back in and you kick in, start communicating. Because again, I know this too. There's a sense of not wanting to communicate because it's frustrating. You're not getting anywhere. But when you back off and you reload new theories, strategies, new heart-centered ways of thinking, then you can come up with a new strategy and go forward in that. And I feel like, yeah, this couple's meant to be together. They're just at a turning point, and someone's, both of them are really at the same vibration here, and I feel like they're both spiritually charged to move forward, but neither one of them are in resistance. So they're both very similar in that way. But nonetheless, nourish your soul. This is the key over this week, over the next 2 weeks, in the future, whenever you click this. That's what you need to do in order to gain perspective on the relationship. Move away from it for a while, and then you'll gain your answers. Now, I got a planetary card to close things out, and a native spirit. So the native spirit really goes down real deep into the roots. And I'm going to read for this as well. and gains that plantation of where we need to really sit our soul is what I get from the ancient forest. Yeah, look at the grounding. Give me a moment here. That is everything, logic, everything. When I think, and I'm guided here, it's telling me everything logical, everything. We've kind of gotten out of the woods here to a degree where we're not, how do I express that? You know, I don't know, maybe some people don't realize this, but when I go into the woods, I feel, especially when there's a lot of trees and greenery like this, I feel like I'm being hugged by nature. So that feeling is very good for my soul. This is what I feel like we're losing. We're losing from the partner. We're not doing the lovey-dovey thing on a Sunday watching TV together snuggled. We're not doing this. And it's because of all this stuff. So I feel like this is, for me, this is talking about grounding out the relationship, grounding out who we are as a person, grounding out into what are we fighting for? This has been lost through all of this, okay? So I'm going to read from the book again here. What, is there a number on this? No, there isn't. Of course not. But it's a beautiful picture. It makes me feel really warm and fuzzy. I don't know, maybe cold and dewy out there, but okay, ancient forest. So that should be A, right? Let's see. Yes, it will be. Okay. So it says your roots go deep. Incredible, radiant, healing strength is available to you and grows within you. Do not doubt your abilities. This person is not aware of their abilities most of the time. Okay? You're so much more than you can possibly imagine. There's immense, unseen, but very real support around you. You are loved and cherished. That they do not understand. They do not, they feel lonely in this. And that's, like people that say God, whatever, God helps me. There is an energy and it does help you. And we don't have to feel alone, right? You're grounded and stable and strong as your spirit reaches high into the heavens. Now, what the native spirit wants you to know is that throughout the world, those in indigenous cultures revere what are called the tree people. And these are powerful life force of trees that can bring healing, strengthening, grounding energies. The kind of tree might vary from culture to culture, but the reverence and gratitude for its beneficial energies are the same. People are needing this now more and more from this 5G shit. They're going to need this more and more to revive the mind, mental state, heart, all of it, all the way down. Kind of tree might vary, Okay, the ancient forest is alive with nature spirits. Additionally, each tree has an individual spirit, especially powerful and resilient. I can vouch for that myself. The forest can survive with the harshest conditions because of the mutual support of the tree and the entire forest. Your greatest strength is silent and deep, and it doesn't need to show force. And I feel like this is what we're doing. We're showing force. So we just need to quiet and key into that instinct. And that's why we're not gaining instinct, is because we're letting our egos shout. And it's the loudest one in the room. So till you quiet that guy, you don't get down to your roots, right? So sometimes it comes at a time of growth and change, and other times it springs up from surviving and conquering painful solutions. And it says adopt a tree. There could be one in your yard, one in a nearby park, or a wilderness area. Talk to the tree, touch its bark, and give thanks. And by doing so, you create an energy connection that will continue to nurture you no matter how far away you are from your adopted tree. This is something, notice my buddies in the background. I got a few. I got a new one here. I got to show you him. He's pretty. And I know it's a male, this guy here. Look at him. He's nice, hey? That's like a giant umbrella. And then I've got another one over there. That's the smaller ones. But anyway, you bond with these creatures. I call them creatures now because I realize that there's something more going on They feed us what we need. They take in the oxygen we give. This is, it runs deeper than that. It runs real deep than that, more deep than that. So I cannot express, because a lot of this is just nonverbal. But if anybody goes, from the city and you go out camping, this is what happens. You just de-stress. So this is what they're saying, is we're just kind of hung up in the city. We need to go on kind of a wilderness retreat. I mean, this is not the time of year in North America, Canada, anyway, where I'm at. We're getting better weather, but this kind of thing, we need to tap into some kind of grounding is what I'm getting. Even if it's buying a plant and bringing it home, even if you got no plants, bring it in and start talking to it. That was interesting, yeah, gotta tell. It opens it up for a story, and I'm gonna spill. So this guy right here, this one, I'm gonna see if I can get the actual. This is the leaf. This leaf came out just before I bought it. It's shiny and new, right? So I brought it home and I watered it. Now, as you can see, not only is this twig going upwards, so if there were water that we're gonna drown, it would fall here, right, at its lowest point. Sorry, I've got my thing in the way. But it would fall off at its lowest point. So what happened was I watered him. I come home, and usually that's what they need is bloody water. Like some of them, I go, oh, you're dying, I got to save you. So they end up here. I brought him home, and I said, where do you want to go? And it's like, I want my leaves to be unobstructed. So for here, I put them here for now. I say, you look pretty, so I'll put you there. I know I'm crazy, but don't matter. But anyway, so this leaf, okay, I watered him quite dry. And he dripped all in here, dripped water off that leaf for 3 days. 3 days. This means something to me. So again, connected to everything, not just me, but there's a above and beyond. So I can't even express everywhere. But anyway, to me, it was tears of gratitude is what I got from it. For now, I got someone who pays attention to me. They just sit me in a spot and wait. This is what I got when I tapped in. So I thought that was pretty cool. That it's almost like they feel compassion, and this is all that they're trying to get us. Sorry, that's just me being too deep. ancient, I was going to say ancient aliens, but ancient forests, connect whenever you can. Okay, now I got a planetary card, but are we going to go? Okay, we'll go over the planetary card. So these are energies to keep in mind above and beyond, right? That universal energies that can hover, so we can tap into them, and they help us as well. So again, first person, your deeper resolve rises, eclipse in Aquarius, awakening. And again, 6, 7, 8. Would you look at this? 8. This numerology comes to 8, right? 3 and 5, 6 and 2. I'm going to leave them both here. So we are awakening in this partnership, and this is what the challenge is here. We are needing to overcome the arguing, the stress, and resolve the issues that we have going on in order to do this. And look at the meditation, put the time out, the time to connect to yourself, to know what you're fighting for. This is what I'm getting highlight. And the fire and water dragon, again, flow with loving force. Prepare for change to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected. So how do you do that? I don't know. When they say that, I just laugh. That is the ultimate paradox, because if it's truly unexpected, you will not, no matter how much you expect things, you cannot predict what it is. Anyway, so yeah, 8, 8, fire and water dragon. Do these have numbers? I don't think they do. No. But that's your dragon. Take them with you. Fire and water. Fire is an active force. Water is compassion. So they want you to act from your compassion in this case. And if you cannot do this, remove yourself. zen out and get into an area where you can, because this love partnership is in midst of change and it wants to move forward. So if we resist that, we're going to have, this is what we're feeling because we are in resist. So it's just a matter of awakening to what means most. And again, take your ancient forest with you. If you don't have any trees or whatever, go out and buy a plant and just feel the effects of it. Plants are an easy way in the winter. But anyway, so that's for whoever picked pile number 1. These are heavily intense and long. I see it's an hour already. My God, I'm not on here for 4 hours, but getting into, I don't want to miss anything. So 5033, that is your reading. Okay, next card pile number 2. 2, 3, 4, yeah. Make sure I don't bumble it up. Okay, so number 2 was the air dragon. So this helps you rise above earthly matters. Communicate honestly, brings inspiration and hope, and to see life from a higher perspective. Again, removing oneself from the midst of everything to see things as a bigger picture. I feel like this is globally as well. We need to do this. It gives me an opportunity here. I've got some information coming in from people that might have taken a comment I may have made on this virus stuff in the wrong way. Even though this person's not communicating, I want to straighten it out because I feel like they can kind of get carried away with it. The bottom line here, this virus stuff, it's not that I don't think it exists. I realize there's something here that exists. But again, getting to the roots of why and where it comes from, that's what I get, tingles on. That's what don't make sense. And that's what everybody has to look from a higher perspective on, because we're so in it, we're not seeing straight. And it's creating fear and chaos. And that's what I don't appreciate. I don't succumb to fear mongering. So a lot of stuff that gets sent to me, I'm just not going to watch it unless I feel guided to watch it. I'm aware somewhat and somewhat not aware, and blissfully so. I don't say that I know everything, but I trust my instinct highly, and I just do not need fear mongering downloaded. So I just don't tap into that. So for the record, it exists, but why? And I think that's going to be the illusion that gets uncovered in the future as to why this happened and what the root cause is. I think that's what's being spun a web around, that it's just an illusion. Okay, so next. Air dragon helps you see earthly matters from above. Okay, and what is this about? For perseverance. So green is about healing and a sense of needing to do this. So whoever picked this pile is very much in a zone that they are healing of the self, is what they said. We're in this mode of healing the self. And sometimes we need to rise above things that can get in the way of this, or what's the word? They're trying to hinder this in some kind of way. So perseverance is about self-healing and continuing to make progress in that way, and not letting anyone really get in the way of our own self-progress. Okay, so this is, I feel like this is the challenge, is this perseverance is being messed with in some way here spiritually. Okay, here we go. First card for the second pile, which is again air dragon, so white. 8 of Swords, exactly what's going on here. Illusions abound, right? So again, she's not seeing straight. She can't see what's around her. She could use the sword to cut and she can get out of there, but she feels like she's either been told something that keeps her in fear, so she doesn't move. This is very similar to what's going on universally as well. 8, trapped in fear. Why? Because of something that we believe to be true keeps us locked in a position. Doesn't this just symbolize everything at this moment? Next. 2, the High Priestess. Look at her go. That's about secrets, things that we know that are hidden, we may not speak of. We may be knowing things intuitively, but not speaking of them. Yeah, so we're trapped in fear here with some things keeping us trapped. We have a high instinct, what that could be. I feel like we're starting to figure it out. We're starting to, this is very universally, I could say this is a universal reading, this one, but anyway, starting to get through the rubble, sift through the rubble and see what's going on here. We're starting to get a blindfold removed is what I'm getting. Next card, King, or no, is this the Knave? Yeah, this is the Knave of Pentacles. So this guy speaks to me about knowledge, gaining knowledge, learning forward, learning new things, new ideas coming to us. He does not take action very often. And this is where I see society as well, right? Yeah, give me a minute. Holy. Yeah. Okay, they want me to go there. Because they're saying about society as well, right? Because like the Page of Pentacles, how he does not move on things, but he just give me more information, let me download. And that may be a smart thing, because this guy is the only one that finishes the line, right? He hits the finish line. Why? Because he's gaining the information, and it's secret information, things that may not talk outwardly about, but it may be able to clear up why we're in fear. Okay, keep that in mind all over. The sense here is we are in that mode of doing that in something in our life, and this can go from micro to macro to micro in our world, maybe in our social circles, our community, our country, and our world globally. That's what's going on. So next line. Oh, wow. Heavily deep into, I know I'm not the best communicator. I got to quit saying that. But this really does hit the span. Like I'm seeing right through everything. Retrograde is released here. Seeing right through everything, that this is really the energy that's going to span for the next little while until we get underneath some stuff. Again, personally, community, city-wise, province, global, da-da-da. So on top of the Eight of Swords, we have the Moon, which makes total sense to me, because this is the illusions. This is the black and white of things, right? What are we seeing? Are we seeing the dark or the light? And look at how it continues with what we know and what we seek and what we find. And again, it's secretive stuff here. Not able to go outward. So on the High Priestess, Six of Cups. Give me a moment. You know what? I gotta look at that. Yeah, I get a real solid energy of through this card. And this is a little off the road here, but I get a solid energy of confidence from this woman. Six of Cups usually talks about nostalgia, thinking of things. Six of Cups, and they're all full, like they look like they're pretty full there. Good memories, good heart-centered place that we come from. And again, in the center of the reading, everything's revolving around the balance that we have in our heart. Okay, on top of that page about the knowledge and learning that we're starting to learn as a person, starting to learn as countries, as whatnot. We're learning, okay? We get the Seven of Swords. What are we learning about? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. What are we learning about? We're learning about the sabotage, the lies, the untruths, people sneaking away with stuff they shouldn't be. This is what's going on. Seven of Swords is very much about all those things that are not above board, not moral, not, somebody doing something they know they shouldn't do, but they go ahead and do it anyway. This is what we're learning about. And as countries, we're learning about it, right? And we're seeing it in governments. We're seeing it in Everywhere there's corruption, right? That's the word they want to attach. There's not my word, but that is a good word for this card, corruption. What are we looking into? What are we getting knowledge? The corruption that surrounds. Okay, next line. On the moon, the illusion, and the illusions that we hold at this point, why we feel trapped and in fear. Why? Because we are under an illusion. Okay, next card. The goddess, the empress. Look at her go. Now, the first thing I see is the rabbit, and that talks about fertility and action as well, being speedy with things. Give me a moment. Because she is about abundance. She is about wholesomeness. She is about heart, fertility as well, beginnings, new beginnings of things. So no matter what the illusion here, there's an ability to rise above it is really what I'm getting. Now on the 6 of Cups, which is the feeling of love, we have 6 cups here. We're over 5 is the struggle. 6 is the realization that we can get through this and we can rebuild. We can re-establish from heart, not from vengeance, from heart. What do I get on that? The Maiden of Fire, and I'm going to go. Yeah, look at this. Okay. So there she is, Maiden of Fire. Okay. Now, she's holding a candle. Oh, here we go. They're telling me. Okay. So this may be literally those of us that will be holding candles for those that have not made it, not passed. And by that, I mean have fallen prey to what? To all of this stuff going on. This, what was the word I used? Can't even gain it. The treachery that's gone on is holding a candle to this, right? People that will be succumbing to this virus, okay? We have to hold heart for that. And we can do that before. Give me a minute. Okay, so what they're explaining to me is we don't have to wait till these people pass to hold heart and to hold belief and to hold compassion. We can tap into that now universally, and we can shift the tides, right? So if you're deeply spiritual, you understand this. You're probably doing this already mindfully. But I'll take the Prime Minister's wife, for example, here. We do not have to wait until she is sick and in bed. We do not have to wait until we can pray for them moment to moment during our day, keep them in our thoughts, literally, send out love, light the way, and they may not even feel or sense to the degree that they can. I know I'm an energy worker. You cannot convince me different, that our thoughts do not find reception where they need to go. So prayers, they do work. We do not do this long for it not to work. So keep that in mind for those that may be suffering or falling into. Keep that in mind, because every thought that you send out hits them with an arrow of strength and dignity to move forward. So, and if it comes from the heart, man, that's 10 times, tenfold. So keep that in mind, okay? We just can, we can pray our way out of this, literally. We have the power to do that. Though some don't believe, that is really where you're sitting here, right? Because if you think the prayer don't matter, this is where you are, okay? And the fear will get you. Now, next. On top of the 7, what do we get? Look at this shit. Sorry, guys. Look at that. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of the Year in this deck. Now, this was something I was guided to. Did not want to go here so quickly, but anyway, there. 7 of Swords, the treachery, the debauchery of the world to do things that are not of the highest good. Okay, there's people that are going to do this no matter. And there's people that, like me and you, that feel like we're out of the loop. We cannot do anything. It is fated. To a certain degree, that is correct. But look at her sit there in silence and prayer, that can change the fate of these few that continue to gain. Why? Because they keep us in fear. Okay, we know this. We know this. So keep that in mind. That's the winner. This is the winner here. The compassionate silence that we hold for the earth, for the people on it, and for society, wherever you live, right? To evolve here. This is winning. Sorry, making fun of things here, but you got to have a sense of humor, and prayer, just don't underestimate it, because you would be naive to do that. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune here, there's this somewhat faded. Again, I feel like this is more like the universal pick here, but nonetheless, if you're on this train, you may be needing to be convinced that prayer can work. And if you are praying, you are working. That is active in the way that you can do this. So do that. All you have to do is like spend 3 seconds before you go to bed and just send out a heart to everybody on the planet, and that would be enough. Okay, so fate, yes, there's a fateful position here. And I mean, really what they're beaming at me is this virus stuff. Can we pray it away? I don't know. Let's try and see what happens, right? Try and see what happens. And you may be amazed at the results, but some of it is fated. So some of it cannot be changed, but to the degree that it brings us to our inner peace and our inner power, this is really what it's meant to do over this time, is to test us in that way. Do we feel, or are we going to give up and just start hatred everywhere? There's a balance here. So here we go. Okay. Deeper than, they just don't warn me. Okay, next card. As we move deeper into, hey Tina, your purple hearts. Thanks for coming in. Look at this, 5 of Fire. Now, what is that about? That is about everything that we don't want to go to. That's the fighting and the strategy. This is the other side of the sphere, right? This is the treacherous side. Give me a minute here. This is this card. The 7 of Swords, about the treachery and the fighting and the anger and the resentment, the bitterness, all of it coming to a head here. That is that energy. So they're making me aware of that. I feel like whoever picked this pile really is either just it may be overwhelmed with what's going on outside of them so much to a degree that this is what's going on, but also it may like micro to macro, macro to micro. It's something that they're focusing on outside that it actually manifests in their own life, because they're so stressed and in fear and in anxiety about it that it really comes to show itself in their life. Okay, so be aware of that energy, or the possibility to do that. That's what they said. So the next card is the Youth, and this may be how it comes about, or you may be a youth and spouting chaos outward, or receiving chaos from a youth. Okay, give me moments. Again, there's a guide here. We may be arguing with a youth, a child of ours, or someone else's, or our children within someone else's child. Here we may have arguments coming down the pipe. Now, this card, again, highly spiritual. The youth, okay, how do I express this? Yeah. The youth are our future, okay? We know this. We don't live by it. I know I have a hard time with this as well. They are our way forward, whether we want to, our egos want to tap into that or not. They are our way forward. They are going to speak up where we do not, or choose not to. So there's a strength, an inner strength from these youth coming forward here to show that we do not need to do this in anger and resentment. And there's also going to be some that fall prey to that side of it. Okay, so it's double-edged here. That's the awareness. Okay, next. Knowledge, yeah. And as I was telling, I don't know, I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was saying, you know, every generation that we have, like your kids, every generation is downloaded with more tools to deal with the world as it sits, or as it will be sitting, or as it goes into. So underneath me, I have a son. He is more equipped to deal with things at this time. He is born equipped to deal with things more than I am. And my ego says, so I'm running him. To a certain degree, we need to listen to these children, because they are just ingrained with a better book. The revised version, they've got it. And then their kids, they got the next one, right? Which, if we're lucky enough, right? So the knowledge here is coming from the youth. We have to start listening to the youth, because they're downloaded with what we need here. Because us here, you know, I'm going to use it as a parent-child scenario. We had a certain way of dealing with stuff is the wrong way. We got to revise our booklet here, and we can't just burn the book and start walking. We got to rework a new book. And I feel like the youth here, why? Just give me a minute. Yeah, because look at him pointing. He's pointing here, sorry, here, to the direction of these two. I feel like he's skipping over, because this is like a Zen energy here of these kids that are tapped into universal energies, okay? And some of them may be aware or not aware that they are, but they're driven highly to follow it, okay? This is what the adults are doing. This is what the kids are doing. The adults are fighting and creating chaos, and the kids are sitting in silence watching this and going, what is going on here? And not only that, they're gaining knowledge, and they're going to start spitting it outwards. Now, this is interesting, because this is the first time I've got this download about shit going outward. So the youth is where it's at. And the interesting thing is here, I don't know, should I? Okay. This virus stuff, I don't feel these kids. I feel these kids are going to be immune to it. So, I mean, of course, tomorrow there could be a case, whatever. But the thing is, these kids that are downloaded with this energy, anything that comes about today to diminish this, they are going to rise above. They're just born to. This is what their mission is. Now, the knowledge, they're going to also start speaking it. And the thing is here, are we as adults going to look at these kids and dominate them? Or are we going to look at these kids and realize that there's a wealth of knowledge here that's untapped that we maybe need to listen to? And this is what I'm getting. I'm sorry, it's just really global reading here. So this may be in a family setting. You may have a kid here that's speaking some truth, but we got to kind of, there's a translator needed, is the sense I get, because we may have to, you know, reading between the lines come up heavy here. We may have to do that with the youth that we have in our midst, okay? Translation difficulties. We may have arguing with a child or a younger person in our midst somewhere was creating chaos, where we have to listen to some knowledge here, okay? It's heavy. On top of the fighting and the, like, you know, battling of wits and whatnot, we have Forbidden 18. Again, I'm going to read from the book. 8 and 1 is 9. That's about coming to completions. So there's this sense here, if you are in a state where you are arguing with a youth, or they are with you, there's a sense here of coming to the end of the line. We are, there's also a sense here too. They said, don't give a false sense of security, because there's a sense here that someone might go into a forbidden area. To gain answers here. Okay, I'm going to read from the book. Unfortunately, I feel like for some, we may have some quarreling. I may have some quarreling to a degree. We have a youth here that may turn to drugs instead of dealing with the parents, okay? I don't like speaking that. 18. I am sending you this warning. You're about to enter into a situation that will not be easy and could cause you or others pain. Not all doorways are meant to be opened, and not all relationships are good for you. Not all love is expressed, and not all desires are realized. Right now, I am saying no to you. The symbol for the forbidden also reminds you that although you may feel pain when someone rejects you, this is one of my ways of protecting you. I may whisper in someone's ear to stay away. It's for the best, even if you don't believe it right now. And this is a symbol to move on and choose another path. Now, give me a moment here, because where this conflict lies, right? Now, if this is a child, we cannot move on, but keep that idea in mind. Some things are not meant to go in a certain area. So we go to the next here. We have summon, okay? The youth, we summon the youth. Haha, that's awesome. I always thought the youth are going to really save us here, and they're going to come out like, that's the expect the unexpected. That's what I think. But shh, don't tell no one. The youth. I mean, we shouldn't really hang on a situation where we expect someone to save us, right? But the youth are downloaded with what we need to move us forward. Okay, so summon, it says, this is a symbol to create a ritual and connect with your spirituality. Get in touch with your own inner magic before you make a move forward. And that's highly what I got from, where is he? From this guy, is gaining, again, knowledge, wisdom. This guy's gaining. Even though it's pentacles, that's what they're shooting at me, is knowledge. We're gaining knowledge, and we're going to summon our strength to go forward. This is really globally as well what's going on. How do you communicate with your powers or with me, your goddess? Now is the time to pray or meditate to acknowledge the sacred in every experience. Don't take your next step lightly. You have the power to summon your spirit, your courage, and even me. And if you are inquiring about something important, breathe and wait for a sign before you act. Choose another card if you need more understanding of my wisdom for you. And guess what? She's pointing in the direction of the next card. And that is, because I'm seeing it as you see, risk. Wow. There's going to have to be a risk taken here. Yeah, look at that. 31. Okay, here we go. They did not warn me of this energy. Risk. You have come to a place where you are being asked to take a risk and try something new and different. Rather than worry about how things will turn out, why not take a leap of faith? And no matter what happens, something important will be experienced. This is a sign that you can prove something to yourself, and when you accomplish it, you will be proud that you did. Another meaning here is to ask yourself about your next action. Is it worth the risk you are taking? If the answer is no, then don't do it. And if it's yes, it will give you wings to fly and will catch you if you fall. And this symbol also brings a gentle warning. Your risk shouldn't be motivated by boredom, playthings of the devil, right? So this is a symbol of consequences as well as courage. I literally put that on a post today. Consequences as well as courage. Think of the consequence of an action here. But there's a sense of risk needing to be taken here, because we're summoning our inner power, our inner magic, and we're going to go outward with it. And we got to choose wisely where we go. So this all makes sense. This is all good stuff. Sorry, to take breaths. Next card as we go. One more. Okay, on top of the, what was that? Forbidden. Yeah, places we should not go. It says a new day dawns. And the sense I'm getting is a new way to deal with things. We may have been dealing with things in an old way, old values, old, worn out ideals of how do we deal? What do we do? Are we going to do the same thing? No, we're not. New day's dawning. We're going to do things in a different manner, right? In a different way. On the summoning of energy, Spiritually, we're awakening, so that gives us power. So does the knowledge that's coming forth and it's all feeding back and forth. We're gaining more knowledge, we're feeling more powerful, and we're just, we're just going. Do not fear the unknown. What do you know? Like, that's the thing, trapped in fear, right? So we release that. Do not fear it. So go forward without that. I don't even want to say it. Fear mongering. It's all, it was funny because I was looking back and I'm like, look at all the stuff that they've just pumped up. The ads on Facebook, anywhere on the internet, the ads have quadrupled. But you know what this says to me? Undercurrent, this says to me, they're losing. So now every last ditch effort is being thrown on the table. We got 5 times as many ads on the internet. We got, and the news is just going nuts with everything, to the degree that factual, who needs factual? Just throw it out there. Like, it's just, they'll chew it up, and people are doing this without thinking. So the fear, right? Control it, get rid of it. Do not fear. If it's fear-based, move around. It doesn't mean you have to ignore it, but get to a bigger root ball here than just succumbing to it, right? Because the power is beyond the fear. So if we are in fear mode, we are less powerful. They know this. This is what they're doing to control you. So keep that in mind. It's just the facts, Jack. That's it. Now, risk. Moving forward, we got to take a risk. What? You were born to create, so get moving. That's what they said. And this is the second last card or the last card? Oh, I got to check now. Because I think it's the last card in the deck. And it's kind of like, that's where you are enlightened, and nobody can play you anymore with those strings from above, right? Cannot play you and put you in dark times anymore, because we realize what's truly going on. It is. I'm going to read it since I got it out here. You're born to create. The last card in the deck, the enlightenment, right? All that light's coming to bear. You're blessed with the ability to create thought, intention, action, and emotions. Very powerful words at this time in history. Be conscious of your power and aware of what your actions and reactions create within and around you. I was hearing of people crashing into people going to get toilet paper. Can you not do this? If you want to go get your toilet paper, be zen with it. Go down the aisle and get my toilet paper. Don't be bumping into people on the way, making them fall to their knees. We can get toilet paper, but just be calm about it. Go down the aisle, get your toilet paper, and away you go. You don't have to bump and bang into people with your car as you're parking in the Costco. Just chill, okay? Get your toilet paper, go home. It's all good. Just be aware, be conscious of others. Don't start making chaos, okay? You're standing out like a neon pink here. Man, I can't get over. Sorry, I'm trying not to judge, but hopefully none of y'all are crashing into cars and getting your toilet because it's just anti-gravity here. This is anti-gravity. Okay. Cherish this gift and use it in both wise and productive manner. Create beauty and inspire a desire within others to do the same. So these people, these chaos makers, are running around with their heads cut off. Just go around. Don't start fighting and just go around and go, that's interesting. Okay. Keep your zen and just carry on. We're not being naive. We notice they're going after the toilet. We notice. Just chill. You have a right to do that. Okay, away you go, move around, try not to create havoc too much, because then you'll get dragged down in it, okay? I'm seeing it and not believing it. So create a future that both fulfills and delights. Do what you were born to do. Boom. Bottom line, this was a very heavy reading, and I'm not done yet. Okay, continuing. The native spirit card, I'm going to take these away, but basically, you were born to create the world that you want to live in. So if you want love and peace, you just sit in that. And the fear, well, we have no room for that. A new day is dawning. This is the crux where we're at here. Teeter-totter is now tipping. One way we have tipped. The tipping point was a long time ago, 2012, really. And we've gained momentum, but now, we're really seeing the break apart here. I was talking way back a year or so ago about the two worlds separating. This is that. The toilet paper people and the calm people. This is what this is our world separating. So just be aware. Being blunt, whatever, but anyway. Okay, native spirit, here we go. Answering the call, what do you know, right? Because look at the rainbow, the whole bit. Where did I put my book? Answering the call, that's what I'm getting. The rainbow is bigger, greater times to come here. And look at it go over the water and the rocks. It's just symbolizing everything in this world is connected. And everything can have a dash of a rainbow going through it. Answering the call, we're really feeling from an inner core of who we are, what we need to do here. And one is respect what's going on to a degree that we don't get carried away by anything, right? Swept away. And I feel like answering the call is really that instinct to just listen to your heart a little bit. And one of the things I always say too, what I've learned most from spiritual energies that has helped me the most is the panic button. Whenever someone pushes your panic button, back off. You will never regret a pause after panic buttons have been pushed. Okay, used car salesman tactic. Oh, today only we got the sale and it's it goes up 10 grand tomorrow. If they use this tactic, it's a tactic to override your instinct. That is your PowerPoint. They know this and they're doing this to do that, to override your instinct. They know you have one and they're trying to override it. So that panic button, nobody should have the power to press that on you. Nobody. Nowhere. Spiritual or non-spiritual, nowhere. You know what? I need some time. Oh, there's a guy here. He's in line. He's waiting. And if he paid, well, go ahead, let him pay. I'll get another one on the other end. You tell me I'm in lack, it will not work. This is what they're playing with here. So be aware of that. Answer the call. Your instincts telling you something different. Go by that. You will not regret. And the power play here with the panic button. Don't let it get pushed. Don't let it get pushed. Okay, native spirit. I'm verbatim here from the book because they're just panic all over the place. They just panic button all over. Like, this is what they're doing. And it's like, oh, you guys quit. Don't fall in. Because the more you fall in, the more you feed that energy, right? So we're just not wanting to do that. The call. You've been called. You've been waiting for your life to shift, and the waiting is over. Your true and authentic life is happening. And if you've been hoping for a sign, well, this is it. Jeez. Sorry, I'm being drama here. Okay. Right now, your spirit guides, ancestors, and loved ones who have passed on are sending you messages. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are feeling that. So you listen to that because they are communicating, because they do not die. Hey, Carla, sorry, my scroller doesn't work. Oh, I love that rainbow. Thank you. Yeah, right now they're with you and they have passed on and they're sending messages because they realize this time in history worldwide. It's not just North America. I mean, it's exaggerated in North America, but it's everywhere. They're realizing this is what it is here, that we're making a tipping point. So they are with us and they are trying to connect with us. And there's a lot of people here that without that information, you'd be pretty glum. So just tap into that awareness of that. You've been called and a gateway is opening for communications from these spiritual realms. Again, guides, ancestors, and loved ones. Now and in the days ahead, Signs from spirit will be all around. Watch for them. That's the thing, right? Watch for them. If I wasn't looking on the shelf of anatomy to have this odd infinity book, I would not have ever seen it. And if I didn't look at the car ahead of me and look at that little dude dancing on the dashboard, I would not have smiled that day. I really would have been more glum. And that's all they wanted to do, was to make me smile, make me get up and say, you know what, we cannot sit in this zone of depression and sadness because we are a contributor. And that is the war that we are fighting. And that is why nobody realizes it's a war, because they know they're not going to believe that. So let's do that. Let's go there. Let's do this. So this is the war. Happiness is the war. Okay, away we go. Now, spirit will be all around you. Watch for them. The native spirit wants you to know that indigenous people look to the clouds, the winds, and the movement of the animals to discern the secret messages from the Creator. In native traditions, life is ruled by signs. And right now, your spirit helpers are telling you that this is your time. Yeah, you are the person you're waiting for. The waiting is over, and sometimes we spend so much time waiting for life to happen that we miss the joy in the moment. Little dashboard dude, that's the moment. Cherish and here and now, and know that no matter what concerns you may have, in the deepest sense, you are ready. Believe. Follow the signs and miracles will abound. Your time is now. And the signs are everywhere. And I know I'm not the only one that can tap into that. I know this. And every one of you can tap into that. We just have to look. And we're not rushing full on, getting the toilet paper, running home and storing it in the cupboard. Right? We gotta look. We gotta slow down a little bit. Look around and see what's going on. There's a little dude on the dashboard and he's like in sync with the music on the radio. How does that happen? Universal energy, that's how it happens. It's crazy. Okay, so what do we have for planetary aspects? What do you know? Pisces. That's the depths, right? Align yourself with love and wisdom. Why did I take my glasses off? Sun in Pisces, higher purpose, right? 2 and 1 is 3. 3 is very much what I align with, universal energies. Sun is full on beaming in your face, 100, 24/7. This is the sun. Pisces is that secret wisdom that, that is littered through all of this reading. That secret, the goddess energy, the moon energy that's secretive. We just have to sit a little bit and resonate with it to understand it and see through it. I feel like Pisces energy is going to help you do that. What's the word they attached? Yeah, higher purpose. Keep this in mind when we're looking forward. Higher purpose here. There is a higher purpose than just chaos making and being Zen. There's a higher purpose of happiness, really. I mean, it can be that simple. So try that simple and see how that works for you. Okay. Man, these readings, I'm sorry, but they're good. They're good. We're good. We're doing good. Okay. That's the second one. Holy llama. And I'm vibrating here. So this next one, what the hell's happening? I don't know. I literally have to take a breath each reading. Okay, this is the third read. So if you pick this dragon, this is your reading. Pure white from Orion. Transform your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know, act with truth and honesty, and let your wings of light grow and expand. Yes, because only with that will you expand. Truth and clarity. Or what? Truth and honesty. Yeah, same thing. White dragon. Pure white from Orion. Not familiar. I don't know. I don't know what goes on up in there. I feel like there's kind of a, I feel like this reading, what they're trying to gain is headway into where you are spiritually, trying to give you guidance along that lines, where you're at. what level you're at here. Pure white is coming from truth, honor, loyalty, dignity, all of these higher vibrational things that we come from. I feel like whoever picked this card is really trying to attain that. It is very hard because we sometimes tell little lies, you know. Yeah, that suit looks good on you, you know, like that kind of thing. And we just want to be more honest, but we can be graceful in it, right? Brutally honest can be harsh on people, but this is, I feel, part of the path that this person is trying to gain truth to a maximum ability that they can in their life here, right? Where it matters. That's what they said, where it matters. Trying to gain truth where it matters. So this is good. Good energy. Okay. Pure white from Orion. Okay, and the topic of the day. 78, spiritual career. Interesting, we have purple and pink. Pink is heart-centered as I see it again. Non-traditional with a lot of stuff. Purple is that guidance from above, being highly attuned, right? Or seeking this is what they're saying. This person is highly seeking attunement in this way, spiritual career. So we may be guided in this way in the form of a career that's on more of the spiritual side, or this may be where this reading comes into contact with all the information, okay? First card. 6 of Wands. That's about victory and success, feeling it. He's doing the victory dance, got the wreath there. So we've accomplished something here. And it may be that we made a milestone jumping into a career here that's on the spiritual side. Next card, 3 of Pentacles. And that's about working with others to accomplish a goal. Working, striving. We're only at 3, so we got a long ways to go here, but we're putting in a lot of work and effort, and things look good. Really good. 0, the Fool. So yeah, this person's very much on a new beginning. New way of life is what they said. Sorry, there's a new way of life here is dawning for this person. Again, it could be in a career field, but definitely new perspectives, new thought processes, new ways of being. And though we're at the beginning stages, we are feeling the victory. We're feeling the release from where we came from. We're feeling better now that we've moved. And so there's a realization here that we are doing the right thing, is what I'm getting. Yeah, so it's good stuff. New refreshment, right? Refreshing energy. So on the 6 of Wands, and that's the victory dance. So we've accomplished something. We've attained something. And we feel very good in it. We have the 8 of Wands. This is interesting because the 8 of Wands is fiery energy, and it has to do with a lot of things happening. So we may have attained an accomplishment here, even though there's a lot of stuff in our life going on. Things, it could also be all those wands could be arrows of communication. They could be arrows of love as well. People, communications, things going on. Just a lot is what I'm getting from that. Give me a minute here. Yeah. So we may have a lot of people in recognition of us accomplishing this, okay? And we're getting feedback about that. We accomplished something in this new direction, and we're getting feedback. That's really what I'm getting. Now, on working forward again, beginning, this is kind of, what's the word? Not an entrepreneur, but you could be this, but the journeyman's card, right? We're just learning a new trade, and we're just gaining our skills in this way. That's what I'm getting there. Now, we have the judgment card, and that's about decision making. Okay? Now I get a past energy and a present energy with that. We have decisions we got to make at this point here, even though we're in a victory dance and things are going good and we've accomplished things. There's just more decisions to be made here in different directions. Now, there's also a sense that we made it initial direction to go in this way, and now we're feeling more confident as we move forward. We haven't made the wrong decision, right? That kind of thing. My energy's so high the live skip. Hopefully it catch up there. Yeah, sometimes it cycles. Thanks for your comment, Carla. So judgment is about the decisions. I feel like we made a decision to go in this direction. We're going to be making more decisions in the future, but we feel more grounded and solid. More affirmative is what they said in our decisions forward than we ever have in anything that we did in the past. So on the Fool energy, again, jumping off in new directions, we have the Four of Swords. Okay. So all of this stuff, the success and all of the people coming into our lives and the decisions that we have to make, we're coming to a point here where we need a break, we need a rest, where even though we're feeling successful and vibrant and all of that that's coming to us, we're feeling good in it. The Four of Swords is there. It's just, okay, now it's time to take a break because we've hit a milestone, or it may not have even been a milestone so much as an accomplishment. We need to take a break. We need to reward ourselves by pampering ourselves, right? Self-care, that kind of thing. So we may be a little run down with all this excitement from victory, but it's all good shit. But but we need a break, no less, right? To recharge and get back up to full capacity here. So as we go further into the energies to Earth, I love this card. I love this card because it's kind of like going on a beach in the sun when the sun's setting. And I feel like there's such an energy when the sun sets and the sun rises. Or, no, that's the same word. The sun sets and no, that's two different words. When the sun sets, right, at the end of the day, I feel like that's a beautiful, and this is what this reminds me of. And the little guys are just wandering around in the water looking for stuff, like kids, eh? They're looking, can I find the money? Or like, and then the old guys are there with the metal detectors on the beach. It's these guys. They're kind of just in limbo, but not, but being guided somewhat. And I always attune this to mean that these what are these guys? Elves? Yeah. They're in the water. So again, being aware of our emotional state here. And we got a lot of victory behind us. And I feel like, give me a minute here. Something about the way we handle the happiness here. Almost like this person may not have let their own happiness wash over them as much as other people's happiness. And that may be what we need the break for, to realize that we are happy, because there's a mask here so the sense they're giving me is that we have a person here that may not be able to give to themselves from a heart-centered place. Now, what that means is they have a hard time receiving from people, like compliments from people, that kind of thing, or they're learning to do this, is what they said. Learning to accept praise more, and getting that energy from this. So on the Judgment card, to clarify, get the Four of Water. Go to the books. I'm going to intuit here. There's a lot coming from this card. Like, notice she's at the foot of a well, right? And then there's water element coming up, or is that air? It's hard to tell because they're like both would be symbolized by blue. No, it is water. Yeah, the element of water. So that is the emotions erupting right from the bottom of the well. Okay, just let me play this out. Now she's got a fire and another cup in her hand. Oh, I think I should just leave these on, but they blur when I look at the screen. Yeah, I think that's air. Air and fire in her hands and water, and then the earth is surrounding her. Really being in cahoots with all of the elements, right? Yeah, balanced is what I'm getting from this card. Four of Water is not traditional for me with this, but anyway. So she's got all these elements surrounding her, and the sun is shining through. I just get a sense of power no less. And a sense of being removed somewhat from the water element, meaning needing to, because that's really the only one that's kind of not touching her. She's stepping on the rocks with her bare feet, and the water is there waiting to jump in. So the sense that I'm getting is this person is really in this way. They're connected to all the elements, but their emotional center, little disconnected, right? And at this time, with what's going on, it doesn't surprise me. So that's what I get from that card. On the Four of Swords, rest and relaxation, we get the Three of Earth. Talk and a smell. Yeah, okay. They're going, read this one and read the other one because there's something in there. I did not read. Okay, so the Four Cups. We'll go back to that. They don't let me forget, because I am forgetful. Four Cups, okay. The healing. Oh, this is about healing, yes. Emotional, physical, and interpersonal healing. Yeah. So that really is, her name's Bridget. This one here in the middle, that's her name, Bridget. And she is in healing. And again, connecting to her emotional center is kind of like the last frontier we have to go through. And that it really is the point where we attach to those emotions, feel them out and let them go. So she's really on a precipice here, he or she, where again, we want to, like, we're only waist deep, but we're dipping in. So the sense is that we're going to dip in, but we, there may be a sense of kind of going back and forth to, yeah, okay, I'm feeling it and tearing up. And then, oh, I got to go, so this kind of thing. Like I got other things I got to do. So just focus on healing in the emotional center. Now, this is the Three of Earth. So the Three of Pentacles, or back one. Talks about plant life. I love plants. Okay, I'm going to focus him up there. And there's little elves and the bees and all of that. And I don't know if that's a potato plant, but there's a little dude here sleeping underneath. So it talks about earth, soil, water, and sun that create life together. They work with others to accomplish something wonderful. Group efforts. So this is, again, what I was getting from this card as well, is working with others, right, to accomplish things. So they're highly making that aware. As this person is very eager, is the sense they gave me, or the word they gave me, to work with others in this way, in this newfound world that they're being awoken to, really. They're eager to work, eager to learn, and eager to move forward. And it will be fruitful because, there's an attitude here of curiosity and so it's all good. Okay, as we go more deeply, the 9, again, about completions of Earth. And look at her. She's in this card. I hope it focuses. Focus. 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 No, it's not. But anyway, she's got a dish there with a little bit of water, and under her hand is a snake. And I don't know, some people aren't crazy about snakes. Dipping into the bowl with water. It's very small graphic. Took me a while to notice it was even there. But it's almost like she's feeding that snake out of compassion, right? Because she's the Earth Mother. She's just going to give him what he needs. This is the sense I'm getting here. And that's the sense that I'm getting from this person, is really got to do this for themselves and learned to not only to give, I think they know how to give outward to the point of abuse, where people abuse them for this, but they need to learn to give others in a, not a restrictive is not the right word, but in a balanced way. And we also need to do toward us in a balanced way. They're going, it is not enough on our side. Compassion towards self, care towards self is not enough. Wheezing all of a sudden. So this is a symbol of that for me. It's like this little snake, the baby snake, and she's nurturing it to, put it out in the forest, because she's like the Earth Mother, right? She's going to nurture it to grow. And they're going, this is what we need to put on ourselves, right? Big lesson for a lot of people, including myself. 3 of fire. Again, that new beginning, that new journey going forward. Like we're all about newness, refreshment, right? This is the same card virtually. Same card. Doubling down on that energy, going forward in a new way. I'm happy. I got no baggage. So we're trying to get rid of any emotional baggage. And I feel like they're going to do as much as they can do. And that's, that's good enough. Just keep plugging away at it. So we're taking action to move in a new way of self-healing, okay? Next card, 7 of air. And this is about the knowledge and the learning, right? He's got the book. The sword of truth lies on his chest, so nothing comes at me that is not truth, or I'm going to look into it to find out that it is the truth. This is the thing, and they're going, keep that. Do not start to accept things without going to our book of knowledge first, which means investigating things a little bit. Don't take everything verbatim, without using your instinct, 1, to filter, and knowledge, 2, to filter. Does this make sense? Does it ring true? And does it hit me on any level that it's not true? And if so, then I got to research. I got to figure it out. So there's they're really just giving me a warning sign with this energy, is just to not lose that. Don't start bringing in information without scanning it through your gut first, right? And when it just don't feel right, and you can't make sense of it, then just don't let it come in. Don't rule by that. Because there's a sense of, they want me to explain that, is don't let something come in when we have the smallest instinct, because it's the smallest one that matters, that there's something off here. So be aware of that. So on top of that, goddess energy of Earth Mother and bringing in compassion towards oneself is what they're centering it for this reading. We have choices. Wow. That's very interesting. The black and the white, right? So this is really about decisions that we make in life, the good and bad. And some of them can be very subtle differences. But nonetheless, one going on a track and another going on a track. And sometimes it takes people a while to figure out they're on the wrong track, especially if we're just starting on this process of waking up and being informed and being, because we can, a lot of people can feed into, just like the toilet paper buyers, they can feed into this and they don't even really understand that they're doing it, but they're doing it. And they're feeding into the wrong side, but they're unaware, right? And that's, again, don't lose your knowledge, don't lose your noggin, because that's what's going to keep you safe, and your gut and all of that. Like, it's all got to line up. Okay, I'm going to read from this, choices. There may be some choices. Well, again, they had that earlier as well. They're doubling down on everything here. Some choices that we have in the future to make, and choices that we've made in the past that have brought us to this state. So we got to continue to be informed, is really what I'm, don't lose that. Don't rest on your laurels, as they say, right? So it says, even your thoughts are like magnets drawing. That's a good analogy. Drawing experiences to you for the good or for the bad. That is awesome. Your thoughts are magnets. That's how I see it energetically, right? When you say attract, a magnet, that's exactly what it is. Do you know the story of a winged immortal in the House of Night who had to choose between the dark and the light? And do you know what he chose? Right now you are faced with such a choice. All you need to do is ask, is this for the highest good? I usually say of all involved, but for me, for all involved, right? The choice you make will be an important step in your life lessons. Remember, even not deciding is a choice. What will it be? It says, choose another card. That's how we're going to go. He's looking away from it, but nonetheless. And it says, choose another card to show you what your choice will bring you. So here we go. Next card. Clarify the new beginning in the new way. It says oath. Gotta be careful. That could be on either side. This is interesting. Oath. Okay. So that is about, when we take an oath, that is a promise to do or be or act or, that kind of thing. This is what I get from here. I feel like the choice that we make is going to be in this mode. It's going to be in a way that, we're going to choose. Yeah. I feel like this person could get strung up here. Like they could make the wrong decision, but yet they're going down the line, but they can make a decision that veers them off in a different direction. Maybe not be a bad decision right now, but it can veer them. So it can be subtle. It can be subtle. Okay, here we go, 49. Boy, we're going to be loving the timestamps here after this. But important information, important energies at this time really is what I'm getting. Okay, 7, 8, 9. So you have chosen the symbol for oath, and this is the symbol for all promises and a reminder to keep the ones that you have made. I feel like, for me, I feel like this person is yet to make it. It's a decision that they have, and then once they make it, then they have to be responsible for that. So an oath is never made lightly nor in jest. Promises are meant to be honored. And when you choose this symbol, perhaps it's time to look at how you have made your promises. Have you crossed your fingers behind your back, relinquishing the magic that binds you to your oath? Has anyone broken his or her promise to you? Let the person go. Don't hold on if someone refuses to be honorable. Huge thing today. I mean, I know I do this myself. So you don't want this person in your life. For now, the most important promise you can make is to yourself. Promise to be kind, loving, honorable, and good, and do no harm. To belong to me, you must keep that promise. Now, here's the thing. I'm getting underlying energies here. That's the sense. But the person will continue to do harm. They will continue. And I've taken a long. That is the last lesson I learned, was this. People that continue to hurt you and you bring it up to them and they ignore, oh yeah, I'm not going to do it. And they do it again. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. Oh, and they do it again. Oh, sorry. This, you're not going to get any. You just got to leave that energy alone. There's some people you just can't help. This is the last lesson I learned. So these promises, and the sense here is that if they do it again, I'm going to do this. Well, we backtracked on that. That's the sense I got here, is we backtrack. If they do it again, then I'm out, or then I'm whatever, and then we keep going back. So be aware of that. That's just what they're making you aware of that. There's a blunder there somewhere. So on the air energy of thought and information and truth and clarity within that. Wow. We have the love card from this deck. Number 10, which is interesting because that's a single. Which brings me to self-love, right? Again, we have to have, our heart has to be wrapped with a little green leaf first. Okay, so here I go, 10. That's all I'm getting is self-love from that. But anyway, okay, the written. What is written? My wondrous one, it's time to celebrate because love is calling to you to open your heart and receive my blessings. Again, it's hard to do when we're not feeling it for ourselves, but choosing this symbol is a powerful sign that love in all forms is in your life now. There is a responsibility to this also. You must give love freely without conditions. And love others because your heart is open, which is hard, again, in this day and age. There is something else here to consider. Love can be a confusing force too, and can sometimes ask a sacrifice of you. If your heart is aching and feels like it's broken, know that love has a greater love for you. That's what it said here. Know that love has a greater love. They capitalized the first love. If your heart is aching and feels like it's broken, know that love has a greater love for you. The love vibe has a greater love for you. For later, no matter what you are in your life right now, love has come to guide you into an important experience and trust in love. I feel like there's some kind of an oath this person took that they backtracked on for themselves. It was a promise to themselves. I'm never, ever going to do this. And they did this. This is what I'm getting. Made a choice deliberately. I'll never, ever. And we did it. This is what I'm getting. And in a love direction, okay? On top of the choices, we get respect your boundaries. That's what we didn't do. That's what we let down. We let a boundary down, so we went back. Yeah, and this is why. Because we didn't serve ourselves, we served the other person, and then it went wrong, is what I'm getting here. Okay, what was the verbiage there? Respect your boundaries, yeah. We didn't nurture we didn't uphold our boundaries in this relationship, is the sense. They're going, and it wasn't just before we got into or when we got into this relationship, it was a while back. We made a promise, and the sense they're giving me is like, well, if someone ever disrespected me, I would never stay in a relationship like that. And then boom, they get into a relationship, boom, they disrespected, boom, they stayed. This is what, okay, so this is what's going on. It may not be the exact example, but that's a scenario. It's like, yeah, they did it and we stayed. So how can we respect ourselves when we were breaking our own boundaries? So this is the same, right? Now, oath 49, when we talk about oath, it says, know your fears. Wow. Because that will keep you. And the fear could have been, I don't want to be alone, so I'll just put up with it. Even though I know, I'm using this example and running with it, but I know they shouldn't disrespect me, but I'm going to stay here. Because why? Because I don't want to be alone. That's better than nothing. No, they're going, no, it's not. We can be happier on our own if we know how to love ourselves and respect. I mean, yeah, we're getting this everywhere, right? But it really is what people need to do is to keep that oath, because then that empowers all of it, and I learned this the hard way, and I'm older, should know better than to let boundaries like this get in the way. It's not, you keep putting it down, you keep, you're a queen and you're looking at these pages going, okay, you come up here, and it's like, no, they ain't coming up. They're a page for a reason. We got to look at the kings, and how they act and what they get. And this is the sense here, is we just let our boundaries down. Boom. So know your fears. Know that you don't like being alone. Know that that's your fear, and try and conquer it or work with it. Release from it, this kind of thing. And is it a valid fear? I've always been a loner, so I don't know that but I do understand, because when you get in a partnership, suddenly it's like you don't know how to exist without the partner. But yet, it takes a little while to do that. So that's all you have to do, is just learn how to do that. And I'll tell you, it's pretty freeing. And I'll tell you, you don't have to put up with crap, and you don't have to, you don't have to be swayed. And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize, because they just jump into, because fear of being alone is rampant. So that's what you got to do, is you got to know that fear so you can conquer it. And then why? So that we can get a better love on the other side, and we're not afraid of being alone, because we won't put up with shit and stay there and be unhappy, right? So on top of that love, we get let the emotions flow. So we may have some healing here that needs to be done from this relationship, of the pain we've gone through, the boundaries that we let down for this person, and the respect we got to pay to ourselves. First of all, before we do anything, we need to feel what we've done here. We let a boundary down. We let ourselves down. So we need to cry that out. And then we need to understand what it is we truly want. Can we get it from this partner truly being honest? Can we get it? Not delusional. I have no fear of being alone. Can this partner deliver? No, they can't. Okay, then we need to look at getting on our own and dealing with our own energy, right? So this may be a tipping point for someone in a relationship here, or at least an opportunity to bring forth a lesson here to a partner. But I feel they're really taking the partner right out of it, taking the partner right out, and they're going, this is more of an individual once it's fixed in this person, then we can, you know, reroute things in whichever way that's going to go. They're not really showing me the fork there. So that means that this could be a crux point. It all depends on that person and what they want to do, and they move forward, but they haven't figured out what they want to do yet. So I cannot see the future in that way. But it'll be whatever way you want it to be, whatever way you decide. That's the way it'll go. So anyway, that is that. Very interesting reading. Interesting energy. So the native spirit card, we go deep. Circle of life. Wow. There she is, boys. Okay. What do I get from here? See, what is it? They give me way too much information to put into words. The sense I'm getting from this is like, okay, look at it. This could be made to access the star. What I'm feeling is this is made to access the star energy. So we have something on our grounded 3D earth that can gain us access to those realms of power that we feel disconnected from. So you stand on this and you feel more powerful. Why? Because there's a knowing of this, right? But we don't need that circle, but we make it to make ourselves believe it. Just like people that do spell work or whatever. When they say what comes out of their mouth and they light the candle to do whatever, that makes them feel like it's going to be accomplished. As a brainwashing tool, really, is all it is. And that we did this in ancient times as well. But it had a different essence because it was magical back then. Now it's very poo-poo and everybody spits on it, and you know, but you do not need all of this extra stuff. We do not need it. It's just a way to convince the mind that it's going to work. This is what I'm getting from here. And what I'm getting is you don't have to be at this circle, wherever it is, with this alignment of rocks in order to connect to the universal energy. The life is swirling around you. This is just the way it is. If you want to spend an hour and put rocks in a circle and stand in that circle and it makes you feel more powerful, then do that. If it makes you feel more powerful, but you do not need those rocks. You can just stand in the middle of a field and look up, and there it is. But if you want to make a circle and it makes you feel more powerful, then that will convince you. It's a brainwashing tactic. Again, you'll use it in the beginning process, but as you go, you release. You don't need nothing. It's just there for you, and then you're already into that energy. You're already looking at the plates. The other day, I went to the doctor. Got my stomach checked out. I got a 7-7. They're like, good for you. Paying attention to your body and going in and getting checked out. You know, it's there. The answers are there. We just have to look. Okay. Circle of life. I'm going to read here. ABC. Oh, there she is, boys. Okay. What is this really about? How far off was I? All things are possible. Stand in the center and be open. The 4 winds are bringing your dreams to fruition. Yeah. I've had some experience. I just got to voice this. I've had some experience when I go in and I do a healing or any energy work. I just recently had a situation where I needed extra and I had to face the 4 winds. This was taught to me in the moment, real time in the moment during a crisis. You face those 4 winds and you bring about those energies. We need extra help. And the respect that I felt, it just was amazing. It's a very shamanic experience, but nonetheless, the 4 directions, that's another way you can brainwash yourself, because that there is something to that. 4 winds can bring things into being. Okay, that's all I'll say. Bringing dreams to fruition, embrace and accept where you are in the great circle of life. Bounty and abundance are flowing to you constantly. It's only us that blocks it. It's constantly there. If you had relationship or financial challenges, things are about to change. So this is the good. This is the good thing. Good news here. And I think this person can have a tendency to be very pessimistic. So it is a fight and a challenge just being positive, but nonetheless, they're winning that battle. Okay. Your native spirit wants you to know. The circle of life, called the medicine wheel in Native American traditions, symbolizes a cosmology that honors all the circles of life. Those in Western cultures tend to see life as linear. However, those in indigenous cultures see all life as a circle. And when this card chooses you, it's time to honor and cherish all aspects of that great circle. All parts of the journey have beauty and grace. And there's a beauty in the rising sun, just as there is in the setting sun. Ah, good one. That's good. To only reveal in the rising sun and demean times of endings depletes your energy. Or a reveal, sorry, my spelling error. To only revel, oh yeah, now it makes sense, in the rising sun and demean times of endings, setting, depletes your energy. So choose what is, and you become master of the universe, or at least your own personal universe. And it says here, create a medicine wheel for yourself. Create a circle of stones that you place on your desk, or make a circle of stones or pine cones that you lay outdoors. And as you place each part of the circle, hold the intent that you're honoring all aspects of your life. So give you more of a grounded feeling for intent. Because every time I go in for a reading, I intend to read for these people that come in. I intend to tap into their energy field, and I intend to have and give and solve some things for them, or guide them in some way that is of their highest good forward. This is the intent. Intent is everything as you move, no matter what circle you're going in. Again, as you evolve, you need less and less of these things, but it is very helpful to introduce you to that energy field, these things. So, circle of life. Create a circle wherever you go. And when you set that intention, it will be there for you. So, yeah. Ooh, good one. Okay. that is number 3. Now, the planetary card we get. Eclipse in Virgo, reorganization. 30 is the number, which dumbs down to 3. Choose duties and responsibilities carefully, because this is what I feel is going to lead us astray. Getting caught up in the wrong sphere of things. Okay, let me rework this. Now, what the card was here that led the way was spiritual career. So that's 15. 5 and 1 is 6. Right? Yeah, 15. 5 and 1 is 6. 3. Multiples of 3, maybe. And the dragon card was pure white. Again, transforming your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because they bring that, I'm thinking of that dark card. This one. And that is really what that's saying as well, is about bringing the knowledge from the higher into reality with your instinct truth. Don't stray from the truth very far. Well, don't stray at all. You'll never go wrong. You can't go wrong with the truth. So, and this has to do with your spiritual career. Eclipse in Virgo, we're dealing with duties and responsibilities and organization. So be organized in your career sector. That will highly help you align with the energies. And keep in mind the circle of life. Look at what an ending there. The energy, and the sense I'm getting is just for whatever you're doing here, take your time, pace it out, be with truth, and the energies will be there for you, right? Just that's pretty simple. I mean, these are rules of the universe type thing. Okay. 213. But anyway, these are messages. I know it's been a while since I've been on, so I hopefully everybody's just digesting. So the fourth card and final for this session here is the fire dragon, and it says it burns up the lower energies around you. You're safe and protected. Be determined and inspired, and clear your soul pathway. So this person is trying to do this in and amongst this energy. this is what this is here for. Okay, so this is going to be a real ride here. Now, what does it pertain to? 91, surrendering. So we may have some issues, lessons, abilities, baggage, things that we need to surrender here. Or it's orangey, kind of a red, but look at it all stay in that flamage. And purple. Look at this. This is dragon is orangey red and it's purple. And this one's purple. Like I shuffle and I turn everything upside down and then I reveal, because I just reveal as you see it. 9 and 1 is 10 is about completion. So we're coming to completion here of getting rid of some dark energies in our life. And also in and amongst us and within ourselves as well is what I'm getting here. And in order to do that, we're going to have to surrender some time-honored ways is what they said, which doesn't translate, but ways of being that have really not served us. It's more of chaos making. So we're needing to kind of surrender that. Okay, so that's what I'm getting so far. So as we tap into the energies, first card, Page of Cups is interesting because he is happy and excited and joyful. He likes to go outward in love and affection. So this may be you going outward or someone going outward towards you in this way. Very excitable energy and a lot of emotion from this guy. He's just wanting to go outward. Next card, the Magician. Ooh. The Magician's looking back on this guy going, you can manifest. We're in the throes here, and I feel very relationship-wise, because usually when the Page of Cups comes along, he's about messages going out to people that, you know, could be potential partners, people that we care about highly. Yeah, working to feel power, giving love outward. Next card is the Wheel, which is interesting because that talks about fate. Again, we're going from ending on a fateful reading, now we're beginning with the fate. So there's something here that we feel very powerfully driven. So it may be someone that we're powerfully driven towards feeling-wise. We feel very like we want to express outwardly how much we care for this person, or that's coming at us in some way, shape, or form. And this is fated. So, you know, there's that. Okay, so on the Page of Cups, this excitable energy, this guy that wants to go outward and just conquer with love and carrying emotions. What do you know? You get the Knight of Cups. So there's an evolution here. Okay, so it may be us here that's evolving from a page, literally, to a knight. So we may have someone in our midst here that we had groovy feelings for, and now we're starting to take action and movement toward them. You know, maybe, what do you call that? Sweet nothings, or trying to warm them up in a high way, right? Yeah. So again, you could be a male doing this, or you could be a female in receipt. It can go either way. But somebody wanting to go outward with emotions that are evolving here for another partner. Feeling very powerful to do so as well. And I feel like this is in a way of having confidence the partner that they're groovy on is feeling the same way, right? That's the Magician energy. Now on top of that, we get the Two of Swords, which is interesting because that kind of puts things on hold. I mean, this guy's going at a good pace. He's going to go forward. And this kind of says, whoa. Two of Swords is about indecision. Not being able to make decisions based on what we have here. It's interesting because we feel very powerful in the love and emotions that we have, but something stopped it. Okay, let's go. Again, this is fated. Next card, wow, Three of Swords. Look at that yellow. That's heartbreak, right? That's heartbreak. Even though everything's yellow in here, that has to do with our self-esteem. So we got hit either by this person in the self-esteem department. They did something to us to hurt our self-esteem with them. Not clear on that yet. Just give me a minute. Or, okay. Or we've been hurt in the past to a degree that it's hard to open up. This is what they're saying, yeah. More along the lines. That's what they said. We've been hurt in the past by a partner. We got one coming in. We're going, hold off here. Woo, buddy. Right? Because of what? The pain that we've gone through in the past. May not have healed completely from that. But someone who is anxious to come in nonetheless. Okay, so that's that Knight of Cups, man. He's moving. Not the fastest guy, but he's trotting. He ain't the Pentacles dude. He's kind of just sitting still, moseying, you know. He's smelling the roses, that dude. This guy's kind of going a little faster. He's at a trot. Ooh. This is interesting because I always thought this was a water card because of this clamshell, but it's actually a fire card, and I'm going to read it because it gives me a sense of calm and peace and serenity. And if it's on top of that Knight, so there's somebody here that's really tapping into that energy of calm and whatnot. Now, this is what I'm getting instinctively, and I'm going to read, but peace, calm, and chill vibes is really what I get from this. So again, this could be the Knight. I mean, it's clarifying the Knight. So there's somebody here coming forward. They feel quite confidently. Like, look at all the stuff coming from that cup. There's a lot of emotion here going forward. But nonetheless, this guy, okay, that's what it is. This guy's really maybe holding a lot of that back. Even though it's erupting from his heart, he's kind of on the outside. He's wearing a bit of a mask here to not come off as too overblown, right? Too lovey-dovey, too. So he's holding and repressing that. Now, get the Three of Fire. I'm just going to read that because that's going to explain a little more about what or how he's repressing this, really. Because he's really just repressing the energy that he has in order not to look like he's love-struck, really, is what I get. So this is Venus. And the attraction to another person, an ideal, or to an object. So, yeah, that's simply that. That's interesting. That's Venus. Why would they... Interesting. So it's just amping up. This guy's feeling very strongly toward this person that this reading is for. Okay, so there's an energy out there, is very strongly, but I feel like they're trying to mask it somewhat underground. They're kind of, oh no, I'm good. Yeah, okay, no. You know, like the type that if you said, no, I can't make it for coffee, they're like, oh, on the inside, but they're like, okay, cool, no problem. You know, this is what I'm feeling. So on the Two of Swords, and I feel that's very much your energy of how you just kind of, I don't know, maybe don't trust yourself enough, right? We have 13. I'm going to read that. Okay, I'll go intuitively first. Because really, this is, even though 13 is attached to the Death card, this is talking about Yule. The sense I get, we've got a rabbit in the background and the sun ready to jump. These two people are, it's almost like they're trying to connect energies is what I get here. And one may be wise, one may be not. This is what I'm getting. Okay, now I'm going to go to the book. The end of something and the moment of darkness before dawn, crisis of faith, fear of or hope for change. This is interesting. Because I do get a light sense from this card. I don't get, like, the words here does not match the vibration of the card that I feel. I feel this is a more positive look to it, right? Because the sun's shining in the background. The snow is reflecting the white. And anything that's dark is really very close to illumination here. So there may have been an end of a relationship period, okay? And there may be someone coming in is the sense I get. So, or we ended something with someone coming in, okay? Just give me a minute here to, it could go in either way. Now, Three of Swords is that heartbreak. It's having to do with sorrow and whatnot. On top of that, we get the Eight of Earth. You're giving me all these cards. And I feel growth from this because there's a lot of stuff. There's like a moth and birds and making a nest. And it says here, air creatures. It says, reach higher, stretch farther, and dream bigger. You are nowhere near your highest potential. So we're underestimating where we can go and what we can do. And may have done this in this relationship as well, but whatnot. Now, I feel like, okay, I feel like I'm going to go another line here. They said, just wait another line. This will clear up. Because I'm going like, are we having some people going from one relationship to another? Someone's incoming and they're breaking, they've got heartbreak or whatever. So we're going to follow directions here. We're going to go one deeper. I'm going to take these off. I feel the need to leave her. Oh, that's not the right energy. Leave her energy here because this is Venus, the goddess of love, right? So we're just going to leave her there. So I feel like that's the key here for this person. Wanting, but it's just not, things not going right here. We have the Queen of Fire. So you may be a fire energy or needing the attributes that are attached to this, which is action-oriented, beauty. They're making me aware of the beauty. So we may not feel beautiful from the inside. They're going, we need to start there because on the outside, everyone is their own version of beauty, right? It's just not all people are up for oranges. Some want apples, some want pears, whatever, right? So this is the thing. We're all our own perfection of beauty, but we're not seeing that. We're not feeling that. So there's some of this energy that needs to rise within us. Queen of Fire. Now on top of Venus, which I feel, wow. The Ace of Fire is that new direction and passion, even though this is, I'm translating here, because I do feel like this person is, I don't know if they're passionless. I think they can very easily be passionful, but I feel like they've given up on that. They're kind of like, I don't want, and this is the fire that needs to be lit, right? To a certain degree. And I feel for some, we've gotten, okay, here we go, yep. I feel like for some, there's an energy here where we have been let go in a relationship, right? We were sacrificed and our esteem took a huge hit because of that yellow, right? Our esteem took a huge hit here and we have to build that back up. And, look how the colors are changing from yellow to orange. And back to yellow again. We got to start over in the self-esteem department. But nonetheless, the Ace of Fire is about that new direction, new passion, new ways we want to go forward in a relationship. Here's what I'm getting. And we have to build from the inside to start with the insulation and the drywall. We got to putty that shit in there. And then paint. And then we're going to feel better about going forward, right? The bones. If the bones are good, the rest don't matter. And then you move forward with that passion. Because the thing here is not only were we not acknowledged for our worth in this relationship, we weren't respected or valued, right? Another song, Know Your Worth, right? Holy. I got the song list. Okay, next. Thoughts. 18 thoughts. Yeah, we need to think about this relationship a little more. Like, I'm not one for dwelling, but we have to autopsy, understand what happened here. What did we let the partner get away with? Because we really need to take kind of blame for that. And I'm saying blame lightly because it's just, we need to just take that energy and go, yeah, I should have let it go earlier because I saw this coming. Or I think there's, in retrospect, we look back and we see our error of our ways. But we have to be in a certain heart zone in order to accept that. And that's what I'm getting here is, and this may take more than this week to figure out, or we may be in the process of just drilling that into ourselves here. We may have someone coming out of the blue, striking our passionate button, and making us realize, yeah, I can attract. And look at this guy's attracted or girl. And look at her go. And she's carrying on about me. What? Yeah, they didn't know what they were talking. Almost like that. You're going to have to get a kick in the butt with a new beginning in order to understand what really happened in the past, in order to accept where you're headed. Okay. So, and then in the meantime, right, there's Venus. She's just sitting there on the new passion, waiting to open. Yeah. Okay. Next. Next line. On the Queen of Fire, that action-oriented way that they want you to be. And the Queen of Fire, those fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag, they're very out there. They're very bold. They're very brash. They can fake confidence very well. They may have a little pea-sized core that doesn't hold it, but they just exude it outward anyway. I feel like this is the energy that this person has to embrace at this time, is just kind of fake it until you make it, and you eventually step into that red gown that is just a showstopper, right? And you just didn't know you had it until you kind of faked it, and then what do you know? It just kind of fills from the inside and oozes out. So Queen of Fire, on top of that, we have to keep in mind is our individuality. Because those things, right, from our own perspective, if we're a negative thinker, we're going to go, yeah, I'm not like her, I'm not like this, I can't do that. But those things are your, what is it? Your gems, right? Those things that are unique to you are those things that you should embellish. And it's a lot of times it's the things that we hate about ourselves, so we got to flip it around. We got to make it work for us. They're telling me about numerology here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, yes, 11. So be aware, we may have mates coming forth here in the future. An advancement to one as well over this learning period, right? So you may have broken from a relationship, as I explain myself again. Moving, we have someone of interest in the future here. We're kind of feeling like but the thing is, we haven't digested our lessons yet, and the more that we do that or tap into that, then we'll start to gravitate more to wanting to go outward to that relationship. Okay, Venus highly there. We have the Warrior. So this is the dude, and he is, what do they call that? Beneficial. He is absolutely a good dude in this deck. Got him in a personal reading myself, so this is good. Good energy coming forward from the future. There is a good dude here. And we have a page, which is interesting because I think the page was just there to illuminate the fact that this person just feels overjoyed looking in your direction, going in your direction, thinking about you, feels overjoyed. And again, it's somebody that may want to illuminate these facts to you or can do so highly, right? So the Warrior. I'm on a read. They just want me to read today. Thank God. What do you call that? Thanking the stars that retrogrades over. I'd be stumbling over my words. Okay. The Warrior. So when the Warrior appears to you, it is such a fortunate sign that no matter what is happening to you in your life, you are truly protected. And whatever you are experiencing right now, all will be well. And if the question is regarding love, this card represents someone who is deeply committed, deeply protective, and deeply kind to you. Friendship and love are sacred, and these qualities are important for a relationship to grow. If this person doesn't have these qualities, move on. For I will send you someone with a true warrior spirit instead. Remember, life is about learning and discerning who is true and who is not. And there is another message here to consider. Do you embody these qualities in yourself? Now is a good time to think about how committed you are to that path. So, that's what happened here is we dropped the Warrior. It may have dropped us, but in a sense that was our protection because they no longer want you to waste time and energy in that way, in that direction. Not meant for you, really. Who is true and who is not? That's what you do not trust within yourself to make that decision. So this is why this new person coming forward, we're like, I don't know. And it's because we don't trust our own ability to make that decision, right? Because of what we've been through. And again, not healing from it, not taking thoughts to think about what really happened here, and did I listen to my instinct, or did I betray myself, this kind of thing. This is what I'm getting, a high sense of needing to know those boundaries, know those rules, what happened, before we can truly accept something like this in our future, whether it's coming at us or just around the corner or whatever. So that is that. Very beneficial, that dude. On top of the thoughts, High Priestess of Fire. Again, it's all about the fire. We're adapting that energy to go forward, right? Because the fires, they just don't let anything hold them back, right? They don't. They just go. And sometimes they make mistakes and brash with that, but sometimes it gets them in the areas where they just illuminate it. Everything goes crazy. So this is what they're wanting you to do, is embrace that High Priestess. Now, High Priestess she's got knowledge, universal, and she's also followed by her instinct. And highly can be powerful in manifestation as well. So, right? And the thing is too, sometimes that can be veiled. A person may not have a particular, yeah, like say you're into blondes, right? And you go, and this guy's got dark hair. Suddenly you're like, no, not for me. So just, take a little time to go over, because he may not have dark hair or may not have blonde hair, but he may have all the other ticks on your list. And wouldn't it be sad that we just left because of the dark hair? That kind of thing. Just watch for that. The High Priestess, she'll jump. So let her go. And she's of fire, so she takes action, right? I see there's one of earth, da-da-da. This is 5, yeah. And water, there's all the elements. So as I read, you have chosen the symbol of the vampire, High Priestess of Fire, the goddess of creativity. And again, passion, where is she? Right in here. Well, where did I put her? Didn't I have fire? Whatever. Can't find it. But anyway, it's probably behind here. But the passion and fire, whenever she arrives, she reminds you of your ability to create your own reality and choose how you channel your energy. If you're restless, call upon her for inspiration and joy, and she will release you from a trap of boredom. Fire brings warmth and light, but it also burns when it is allowed to get out of control. Yeah. Spend your energy creatively, not impulsively, and guard yourself against burning out. Use your fire wisely and let your light shine brightly. So this is the thing, is releasing that light. Just let her burn. Let her burn. That's what they want you to do. But don't burn up, right? Don't burn out. This kind of thing. And there's something here in the midst that's just making me aware of this surrender. Look at colors. That, keep in mind, there's something here we have to let go. I feel like it's not let go of the healing, but let go of the things, like we need to heal through some things that we had in this past relationship, and that's somewhat of what needs to surrender. Okay, on top of the individuality card, what do we get? Wash away your burdens. Yeah, let the emotions flow. They're telling me that there's a sense here that we may even have needed to explain ourselves and feel like we weren't heard. Getting a sense here, there's not a sense, they're telling me. Some of our burdens that sit with this relationship is not having our say. So if there's a chance or somehow, there's many ways you can go about doing this to resolve this. One of them is going to the partner and having your say in a calm, graceful, peaceful manner. Because there's a sense here being hung up on something that was unsaid, is what I'm getting from this card, and that's what they're making me aware. They're going, absolutely, we can go forth, have our say, and then we walk away with dignity. How do we do that? We do it without malice. We do it with grace. This is how we do it. So we confront that person and say, what you did to me hurt, and I have a, well, yeah, and I'm going to have a hard time healing, gently expressing where you're at so that person acknowledges there's something there with that energy this person needs. You can do that. You have the freedom to do that. Just be aware of the malice. Don't shoot out. If you're not in a place where you can do it without malice, don't do it at all. And then There's other ways like writing things down to express and then burning it if you want to use the fire narrative here, or journaling, whatever, like in any form whatsoever, you can do that and get rid of it. And then it makes it easier to heal and forgive once we've been heard, is the sense. But beware of the malice, because that can get you into karmic debt. So we don't want to do that. We just want to be heard. And that's the sense I'm feeling, is this person's not feeling like they were heard by the partner, that they just and be aware of your stance when you go in. Don't go in there to say that to get back in, because they're going, you do not belong there. But when you go in there, you make that person hear, so they know the mistake that they've made, and they can fix it. Not with you, but with someone else, because they're not meant for you. They're making this very clear. Now the warrior, this is the new dude coming in. Seek your answers within. Yeah, having to look more closely at the heart and what it yearns for is what they said verbatim. So we really didn't, even though there was fluffy stuff here, we really didn't understand truly what was wanted. And that's why we put up with that. Now, the high priestess, again, that fire energy that we're going to take on, says share your thoughts. So again, and I'm getting right back to that partner that hurt us, or we hurt, whatever the scenario is there. There's a sense of something needing to be explained. And I feel like you're not going to be able to get rid of that burden until you're heard out. So then go and do that. But make sure you're in a balanced energy when you do that. It's very hard when someone's hurt us or we've hurt them. If we're in the power position, and I don't mean to say that weirdly, but if we're in a position where we left, we may have to go back to that person and explain why we left, and just leave it at that, without malice, without any ill intent. If you can do that in that way, do that. If you can't, then do it in some other way, writing or creatively or whatever, or spit out drawings or whatever. So yeah, somebody here is flipping from one to another. One's coming in, but there's an essence of not wanting to accept that, or not wanting to go there, because there's things that have yet to be said. Wow. So I'll leave it at that. Now we'll go on to the native spirit card here and see what they have to say about the whole situation. Spirit keeper of the South. All sunshine, right? Flowers, wildflowers in the garden. What am I getting? I'm getting a sense of, yeah, sun shining, but not so much that we're burnt up in it. Like as the sun sets, that's when you slow down your day, you slow down your thoughts, you slow down your wisdom. Not your wisdom, your, like, everything slows, gears down, because things are going to be at rest. Even though this is not the sunset direction, it'd be west, because the south, it really gets the sun all day, right? It gets the sun all day. East and west is what, there's something to that. They're saying, yeah, is being in joy for the most part over this, and the lessons that we've learned through it, Yeah. They're also giving me a sense here, this person's really going to take a part of, how do I word that? We're trying to release from this person's energy, but there's a sense here that this relationship that we came from, there's a sense of this energy fueling us in a good way once we heal properly from it, that will always be with us. It's like this person changed us in ways that's really going to help us get to where we want to be, even though, at this time it's going to be hard to acknowledge that person for that, right? Because it was painful. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. Of the South. Okay, wrong book. I'm going to read verbatim here what east, north, west, south. Alrighty. Oh, I need glasses. It's just getting to the point. I can't see. Okay, so the Keeper of the South is about abundance and prosperity in all forms, expansion, surging energy and activity, movement, rapid growth. There's tons of fire through this reading, so it's all on par with that. Be open to receiving the bounty of the universe. This is a great time for medical procedures. What do you know? And your energy will be at a maximum. Okay? So have you got any surgical things you want to get done? Knock them off your list now. The native spirit wants you to know in the medicine wheel, the south is the direction that symbolizes the warmth of the noonday sun, summertime, and the full moon, and a time of rapid growth. They're making that stand out like 3Ds. Rapid growth over this time, even though we may be just coming into lifting from healing, right? Crops grow with vigor during the summer months. In the human cycle, it also represents the vitality of childhood. This is your time to shine. It's also a time of great bounty in all areas of your life. Open your arms to receive the gifts from the universe. If you live in the southern hemisphere, draw this card. If you live in the southern hemisphere and draw this card, read the Spirit Keeper of the North instead, for the meanings are reversed. I'll do that in case are those. But I want to say first, the journey, it says stand facing south during midday. Close your eyes and feel the warmth of the sun opening your heart center. Absorb the sunlight as you sense yourself absorbing abundance of the universe. Because that is what it is, right? When I do that, because I've done that a few times, I don't do it enough. I got to remind myself. And I don't do it at noon. I do it at other times. But when you go outside, you know, or even in your car in the winter and you feel the rays of the sun that warm you through the cold outside, just that. And do a visualization, man. It's so powerful. Okay, now I'm going to go for those in the southern hemisphere. And there are a few in here. And I'm going to read the Keeper of the North, for the meanings are reversed, okay? So keep this in mind. Okay, it says for the north. So these are for people that are on the southern hemisphere. This is their card. Take time to for contemplation. Turn within. Connect with your ancestors. Incubate ideas. So instead of beaming outward, it's to come inside and illuminate, right? Connect with your ancestors. Incubate ideas. Mend relationships. Watch your dreams. Meditate. The answers are inside you waiting to be heard. Stay warm. Create dreams for your future. Repair what is broken in your home and your life. Forgive those people and situations that you've been dragging around for a while. Native Spirit wants you to know about this card of the North, that the medicine wheel, the North, is the direction that symbolizes the darkest time of night, the coldest part of winter, and the dark of the moon. Also represents the elder time of life and even a time of ending. So pulling the Spirit Keeper of the North indicates that it's time to take measure of your life, explore what's working, what's not working. What and whom do you need to release? Yeah, this is heavy. It's also a time to make repairs in your physical environment as well as them to your body. Additionally, this is the time to begin to dream and make plans regarding your future. Your ancestors are close at this time. Call on them. They want to help you. If you live in the southern, draw to the south. And here, the journey says, stand outdoors at night facing north. Inhale the darkness, sink into your own depths. In the stillness, ancient wisdom emerges. So that's interesting. Northern and southern hemisphere, right? Energy shifts. And I know energetically, pattern-wise, when you access different areas on the earth, they are going through different energy frequencies. So that is cool that they put that in here. Because I don't think I've ever seen that referred to. But the natives, they know where it's at, right? Spiritually, they do. They're there. So, Keeper of the South, that's all good information, black and white of it, right? Now, the planetary card. Wow. Sun in Libra, harmony, 7 is the number. Enjoy life with music, love, and romance. So this is kind of where it's at for this person. I feel like they've been frustrated in romance. They're trying to heal through that energy to some degree and making their way upwards. I feel like we're at the beginning of the trek, moving forward. I feel good energy for this person, for this reading. It's just a matter of spiritually, really, I feel to a high degree going inside and dealing and then beaming out with what you find. This is what I'm getting. I think that's why they kind of prompted the dichotomy there with the north and south and da-da-da and the different spheres, right? So if you're on the southern hemisphere, you may be in a mode naturally of going inward and then need to go outward after you figure out all that you figured out there. And then here, maybe the opposite. You may be beaming, but may have to kind of recess inward and wonder why. Why am I beaming? And realize more from it internally. And then we'd be brighter, right? Realizing, getting rid of burdens, this kind of thing. Man, long-winded, and I forgot my water bottle and all that. So those are your readings for the peek into the week. Heavy duty stuff, but they said we don't want no love. It's going to be in there. It's wrapped in there anyway in a little box. So just wanting to go highly spiritual on everybody's behind and get us caught up spiritually. Where are we going? What are we doing? And how are we going to attack things? So hopefully that made sense to you. Thanks, Carla, for being so, leave the glasses on when you're reading, would you? Leaving your readings, loving your readings. It's from the Earth and the Birds Talk. That's awesome. Yeah, sorry, guys, it's so long, but I'll put timestamps right away here. I'll work on that. Yeah, and Earth, yeah, I feel like a lot of the Earth people, like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, I feel like these people are feeling a little shaky, but I think if you just go to your roots and go to what makes you feel good, you really are going to be anchors for others around you, like us water and air people that are a little flighty, need stability. Those people are going to start running to you for that. So just, yeah, try and be as strong as you can in your own right. And you just go by instinct. Like, I want to go outside. Okay, go outside then. You know what? I want to go to the beach. Then go to the beach. Because that's where they want you to be, and that's what's going to serve you, whatever. It's all instinctual. It's all good. But anyway, so I'm going to stop yapping. I thought I'd come in, give the peek into the week, and boy, what doozies. So I'm going to timestamp it right away. Hopefully that helps the people out there. Again, this virus stuff, again, is somebody who's communicating. They know who they are. They're communicating with me a little bit there, and I do not. You can send me all the fear-mongering stuff you want. I'm not going to look into it. I have a guide that tells me, you know, there's faded stuff here. We just have to keep our cool and not spread it. So, I mean, even though I've put a few postings about the virus myself, it's just, we just want to be aware and have compassion for people that are going through it, and just hope and pray for the best. And, you know, that's all. If that's all we're doing, that's enough at this time. And lay off the toilet paper, people. I think we got enough. Take care. We'll talk to you later. Have a good weekend. Oh, man.